Okay, so apparently I wasn't live this whole time. Which is fine because it's only been like a few minutes since I started, so whatever. Okay, so whatever. I'll just say what I said again because I'm pretty sure I wasn't live at least, even though I clicked go live. Whatever. So anyway, yeah. Today I'm gonna be talking about anime for a long time, and I have a plan for that, and that is going to be to go through my anime list here. We're going to go through every anime and every completed anime. We're going to talk a little bit about them all. I'm going to try to get through all of them today, but I don't know if that's possible. And we'll see what happens. But we're going to go through my list and we're going to sort it by the score I gave it, and we're going to start at the bottom, the lowest score on here, and then we're going to go up until we get to the top. And the highest rated stuff is probably what I'm going to have the most to say about. And I do have some BGM going, since this is just a talking stream. I think the volume should be pretty good for that. It should be okay. It shouldn't be too loud. Hopefully it's not too quiet. But I guess we can go ahead and get started, you know. And like I said earlier, before I started the stream apparently, if anyone wants to join and mention anything about any anime they like in the chat, that'd be cool. But we'll go ahead and get started with the first one here, which is Utsu Musume Sayori, which is a very... So this anime here is what I did is I went to the anime list of all the anime on this website here, you know, and I just I sorted it by scores, and I went to the lowest rated anime on the website, and this was the this was pretty close to the least ranked one. This one here, Utsu Musume Sayori, and it's one of the worst things I've ever watched ever. It's terrible and awful and bad in every way. It's like it's like when they made it, they were high or something. Like it's really like I don't. It's like some kind of art project or something, you know? I watched a lot of stuff where weird stuff like this turns out to be some kind of an art project, you know? I feel it's very strange. The art style is fucking the worst. It's very, very off-putting, and I hate everything about it. Everything about this is terrible. This whole thing is just terrible. So, what's next is this Tinku Danzai Shelter Plus Heaven, which is also really low on like the ranking, I'm pretty sure. And this was just a random thing I watched. The whole anime looks like it's like cutscenes from a game or something. It's weird. It's not good. It's definitely not good. It's got a weird mix of CG and 3D and 2D and stuff. It's very weird. It's very short. It's not, it's bad. It's not good. It's just not good. No, there's like no real entertainment to get out of it. Okay, now we can get to the real shit here. Keijo. I hate Keijo with a fiery fucking passion. I gave it a 4 still, you know, it's not as loud as these, but I hate Keijo. I actually hate Keijo, and I still gave it a 4, which should tell you something, I guess. But I hate Keijo. I really hate Keijo. I started Keijo, and it was fine. I liked it. It was decent, I guess. But the more I watched Keijo, the more I disliked it. By the last couple episodes, I despised it. I did not want to watch anymore, but since I was only 1 or 2 episodes away from the end, I finished it anyway, and it was awful. I fucking hate Keijo. I hate Keijo so much, and the reason for that is it's just stupid. Keijo is just so dumb and stupid. It's stupid. I just hate it. I just despise Keijo. I really don't like Keijo at all. I have to be honest. I don't like Keijo. Okay, that's all I really have to say about that. Next is the God of High School, which was terrible. The God of High School was terrible. It's like there were decent concepts in there sometimes, but it was so confusing and the pacing was all over the place. Like everything, it seemed things just happened in God of High School, and you didn't know why, and they didn't explain it, and it was so stupid. Like seriously, things just happen for no reason, and they expect you to understand what's going on. I have no idea what was happening at the end of that fucking. It was so hard to keep track of anything. Like it was hard to even pay attention because things just happened randomly. The God of High School was so bad. I don't know if it was just the anime. What I don't know what happened, but it's so bad. Like honestly, it's pretty bad. The animation's good sometimes, I guess. Like I said, I feel like there could be some decent concepts in there, maybe, but it was just done so poorly. That's what I have to say about it. Trigo-chan, that was just a random thing I watched. I was just looking for things that Trigo has done because I love Trigo. And I don't have any problem with Trigo-chan. I gave it a 5 because it's only like 2 minutes long or something, whatever this is, this short thing here. It's only like 2 minutes long. That's why I gave it a 5, because it's just too short to really get anything out of. It's like a commercial or something pretty much. It's so short. Like that's the only reason I gave it a 5. Next is Initial D Battle Stage. Which one was this? Was this the one where I think this was the one where I think this was the one where like the two like female people, whoever did something, I guess. I think. I don't even remember exactly what happens in this, but I remember I didn't like it. That's all I honestly don't remember what this is. This had something to do with like someone's relationship or something, I think. I don't remember. Okay, next is Gantz, and I don't like Gantz at all. A big part of that is probably because I watched the dub, and it's a really old dub, so the dub isn't really that good. But even outside of that, that's not why I don't like it. The reason I don't like Gantz is because it's just so full of cynicism. Like every character in that is only out for themselves. And I get that might be the point of the anime. Maybe that's what they're trying to say, a message about that or something. But I hate it. Like on the first episode, the guy fell on the train tracks, and every single person there, not like for 2 minutes straight, they were like, I don't want to help him, like fuck him, and then no one bothered to help him, no one. And then the train started coming, and they're still just like, well, I guess he's dead. And I hated it. And then the whole anime is like that. And then there's this one guy who's all like, oh, we need to save him, and it's like, I can't hope people, and then because of him not killing like this alien once or twice, a few times, like everyone dies or some shit, and it's just, I don't know, I just don't like it. It just, some of the logic in it is just stupid, and I don't like it, I don't know. And then at the end, it was a little weird. Just a lot of I just don't like Gantz. You know, that's all I can say about that. Next is Evangelion, and I do not like Evangelion. Lots of people seem to think this show is like the fucking second coming of Jesus or something, but Evangelion is not that great. It's fine. It's good, I'd say, up until the end. Everything before the end is good. I think it's fine. It's not like anything life-changing, but it's good. It's fine, you know? But then the fucking ending, the Evangelion ending, is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, you have so many questions and shit about, like, the lore of Evangelion, but then the ending, they just fucking spit in your face and don't explain everything, and then they just go on like a fucking drug trip for 2 episodes, while the characters go through alternate dimensions or some shit, and then Shinji finds out he's likes something, I don't fucking know. It's so stupid. The ending doesn't make any sense, and it's stupid, and I hate the ending so much. Like I said, up until the ending, I liked the show, But the ending ruined everything for me. The ending was so bad, honestly. I haven't seen the movies. I hear they're good. But even if the movies are the best thing ever made, that doesn't fix the anime. The anime is bad. The ending is so bad, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. And people see, like I said, this people seem to like some people seem to think that Evangelion is deep or something, but it's not. And I'm pretty sure I've seen things where even the creator said, no, it's not deep at all. There was no meaning behind it. But people seem to think there is, and I don't like Evangelion. Even though my mascot is Small Face Shinji right now, I do not like Evangelion at all, actually. Okay. Next is the Monster Doctor, Monster Musume no Osha-san, Orisha-san, whatever. Yeah, that was the anime with the doctor who operated on Monster Girls. It was fine, I guess. I mean, most of these next anime for a while, and like, and most of them after this, I probably won't have too much bad to say, but like, the Monster Girl Doctor was fine, I think. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't great. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not like the best thing you'll watch. It's okay, I guess. Whatever. There's not much to say about it. It's kind of just a whatever anime, you know? But it's not as bad as anything below it. Next is, like, I think this is, which season is this of the Seven Deadly Sins? No, Natsu no Taizai. This is like, this is still the newest one, isn't it? This is like season 4 or 5? I don't know. But this season was bad. Everyone knows this season was fucking bad. The animation just did not come through, you know? The animation just was not good enough. It's probably the biggest problem with it. But outside of that, there were a lot of things that happened that didn't even make sense. Like, it felt like things happened. It felt like there was a lot, like with a lot of, even before this in Seven Deadly Sins, there was lots of times where I feel like they were retconning all the time. Like, I've seen this problem with a lot of anime actually, where something happens and they're like, wow, someone character says something like, this is the most powerful character who's ever existed on this entire universe, and then 2 episodes later, someone who's 10 times as powerful shows up, and it's like, oh, I was lying, or oh, I forgot about this guy, or something like that. And when I see something like that, I'm like, okay, clearly the person who made this anime didn't plan ahead, and didn't think about this guy here soon enough, or something like that, you know? So they have to retcon it, and say that, oh no, his powers were sealed away, or and shit like that. But like, yeah. It's been a while since I watched it. I remember I had more problems with it than just the animation and stuff, and like what I said, but it's been a while since I saw it, and it's just, yeah, it's a real disappointment, because the first couple of seasons of Seven Deadly Sins were really, really good. Moment where, oh, okay, never mind, I'll talk about that when we get to the other seasons, but just know that this season is not good. It's not very good. And it's mostly because of the animation, I'd say. But there are other problems than just the animation, for sure. Okay, next is, Bookworm. What was it called again? Something about Bookworm. Hanzuki no Gekko Kujo Shisho ni naru tame ni wa shudan wo aranderu ra remasen. Okay, cool. This is like Emergence of the Bookworm or something. This is the isekai about the person who loves books. This anime was pretty good, but it was really annoying to me how much she loved books. It was like there were parts where she seemed like she was willing to fucking abandon her family just to read one goddamn book. It's like, what the fuck? How do you like books that much? I mean, she didn't, but there were times when it felt like she probably would, I guess. And there was that one part that fucking made me feel awful. It was the most annoying thing I've ever watched. There was a part where she gets reincarnated back into the past where books are really hard to make. So she decides to make her own books on like clay tablets. And so they sit the clay tablets out for them to like dry. And then these two kids fucking run up and like, whoa, look at those quote tablets on the ground. Let's stomp on them for no fucking reason. And then they just destroy all of them. It's like, why? Why did they do that? And they just fucking ruined everything she's been working for like this whole episode, and just ruined her life for no reason. It's like, oh, there's some tablets on the ground. Let's step on them. For what reason? I don't know. It's like, yeah, that's my first instinct. I see tablets on the ground. I better step on them, I guess. I don't know. It just seemed, I hated that part so much. Yeah, that's how I feel about this. It's a decent anime, but it's just annoying sometimes, I'd say. Next is Tonari no Kyokatsuki-san, or My Neighbor is a Vampire, I think is what it's called. Yeah. This is a good anime. I don't really have anything. There's nothing really bad about this anime. It's a cute anime. I like it. I do like it a lot, I'd say. It's just nothing crazy happens in it though. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything that happens to give it I couldn't like give it a higher score because nothing really happens in it that, like, it's cute. It is definitely cute. I like cute anime, but there's not much to say about it. There's like a JoJo reference or two, which is cool, you know. I like it. It's a good anime. I do recommend watching it, but it's just, you know, I gave it a 6. Next is Citrus, and I don't like Citrus. Citrus is like, I don't know. It feels like, I don't know what it is about Citrus, but it's like, so there's this girl, and she's like, it's been a while since I watched Citrus. It was like weird. It was like some weird abusive stuff. I don't remember exactly, but it's not very good, honestly. Some people really praise this anime, but it's not very good, honestly. It's not terrible, but it's like, I don't know. It feels like they're just doing something wrong with it, you know. That's all I can really say about it. Next is the Berserk anime, which is like, when I first watched this anime, I gave it like a 7 or an 8, and then as time, like, that was a long time ago, then time went on, and I was like, you know what, that wasn't that good. And now I've read the manga, and it's like this anime is just, I don't know what they were thinking. Some people just see CG and they immediately like, oh, that's terrible. But I'm not that way. Just because something's CG doesn't mean it's bad. The CG in this didn't bother me all that much. The CG was at pretty low standards for CG, I'd say. But it still didn't bother me all that much. Like, I don't even notice it too bad much most of the time. The CG, it wasn't good, but it wasn't the biggest problem with the anime even. They changed a lot of stuff from the manga, and it just wasn't as good. Even the CG, like I said, the CG was bad, but that wasn't even the biggest problem for me. It's just, I mean, if you've read Berserk is like the best manga ever made, you know? It's so good, especially like, it's just so good. I don't know. And this anime was just really disappointing. Like, I don't know whose idea it was to... CG is definitely not the way to go for this. And especially CG that was as bad as this, you know? I think CG can be really good sometimes. And like I said, I don't have an inherent problem with CG. Like some people seem to, but it's just not good enough. This is just not good enough. It's honestly just an insult to the manga, honestly. So yeah, maybe someday we'll get a good anime of Berserk. There was like a movie or something of it, like of Berserk, that came out, but I haven't seen, I think. But I don't know. If we could get an actual anime, that'd be cool. Even though Berserk will like never be finished now because of Kentaro Miura dying, but it is what it is. Next is Netoge no Yome wa Onanoko Janai to Omota, What was that called? What does that say again? I don't remember what the translation for that was. But it's the one about, it's the one where, well, it starts out in this guy. It's like, it's a weird thing where this guy gets into this game, this like MMO, and he's got all these friends in there. And it turns out, they meet in public, it turns out every friend in there is actually a girl, and he's the only male, even though all their avatars are male. But, like, the anime was fine, but there was, like, a thing how, after they first meet up in public, from that point on, their avatars in the game are all females, even though they're males, they changed them to females because the people playing them are females for some reason. Like, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know, I thought that was a little odd, why they do that, but whatever. But the anime was fine, but it was, like, it's the same as, like, Kyu Katsuki-san down here. It's just not enough. It's just nothing crazy. Nothing really happens crazy. It's fine, I guess, but it's nothing to write home about. Next is Komoi-san wa Koto wa Unai. What was that again? It was like something, I don't remember. I forget, like, a lot of these translations, but it's about, this was made by the same people who made Kobayashi, which is why I watched it, and Koukyo Shinjo is their name, and yeah, it's decent. I think it's pretty good. The biggest problem with it was that the episodes were way too short, but it wasn't bad. I like it. I think it was fine. Not as good as Kobayashi at all, but it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Like, nothing too much to say about it. The plot was that Komori-san was, people always asked her for stuff, and she was nice. The thing with the plot was that she was too nice, so she could never say no to someone when they asked her to do something, you know. And it was pretty cool. I liked it. Next is Terraform Mars, and I kind of hate Terraform Mars. When I first watched, like, the first episode of Terraform Mars, I thought I was in for a really good show, where a bunch of fucking people all just get slaughtered by these crazy aliens or something. But then it turned into this, like, battle anime instead, where they get, like, weird animal powers to fight the aliens, and it's like, I don't know, that's just not what I was hoping for when I first started it, and it's like, it's not good, it's not very good, I don't know, the plot is kind of weird, and it's like, it's just not very good, honestly, that's all I can say about it. Next is Sword Art Online 2, which is, I mean, everyone knows Sword Art Online is bad, at least after the first season it is. So, Sword Art Online 2 has a lot of problems, I'd say. Where does this even start? It's hard to even remember, but there's like a lot of weird stuff in Sword Art Online with like a lot of weird fan service and stuff as well. It's been a long time since I've watched Sword Art Online 2, obviously, but it's okay, like, it's fine. Like, I gave it a 6, you know, it's fine. I don't hate it. Like, some people I feel like just hate Sword Art Online for no real reason. They just have so much hate for it, and there's no real reason why. But it's got a lot of problems, but it's like, it's not like it's the worst anime ever. Like, go down here, anything that's rated 5, I like less than that. It's okay. It's honestly just an average anime. The first season's the best season, but yeah, it's Sword Art Online 2. I mean, whatever. It's not terrible, I think, but it's obviously got problems. Next is Saba Gebu, which is like a battle game club or something like that. This was about these girls in this like club, and they just do stuff, you know. It's kind of like one of those slice of life anime. I think it's a funny anime. I think it's really funny sometimes, but there's not much to say about it. It's got some weird fan service sometimes, kinda. It's cute sometimes. It's funny sometimes. I think it's fine. It's a good anime, I guess, but nothing crazy. Next is Mirai Nikki, and I have a lot of problems with Mirai Nikki. Some people really like Mirai Nikki, and I don't know why. Some of the characters are cool, I guess, like Yuno Gasai. I mean, she's like a meme. I like Yuno Gasai, I think. You know, there's some cool stuff in there, but I feel like it could have been done a lot better. There's some stuff that happens just doesn't make any sense. The one part moment in Mirai Nikki that I will never ever forget ever is one moment where this one character, they had her like trapped here and they were about to catch her, and so what happens is she like fucking 2 missiles fly out from under her dress and like explode, and then she escapes. And that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, that makes literal no sense in any way at all ever. How the fuck do 2 missiles fly out from under her dress? Like, what? How? What? Like, the show is supposed to be serious, I'm pretty sure, so that you can't just do something completely nonsensical or like that and expect me to not have problems. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of there's stuff like that that just doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like Mirai Nikki could have been really good if it was done better, but it just wasn't. And some things in it it just doesn't make sense. It's just not done well, I think. Next is Blood Sea. Blood Sea is really bad. There's a lot of like go in it, and that's it. That's like the draw to it. I feel like that's the only thing. If you like you know, oh, it's a go anime. Look at that. You know, it's bad. It's just bad. Blood Sea is bad. That's all I can say about it. I still gave it a 6. I don't know. I should probably lower that. Whatever. It's bad. Next is Dragon Ball Super. Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans. This is the movie that came with Raging Blast 2, and it's fine. I mean, it's not that great, but it's fine, you know. As Dragon Ball Z movies go, it's okay, I guess. There's not much to say about it, really. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. That's all I really have to say about it. Next is High School of the Dead, and I kinda hate High School of the Dead. I'm not a big fan of fan service. I like fan service sometimes, in smaller quantities probably, but High School of the Dead is just like nothing but fucking titties, ass every 5 fucking seconds, and I hate it. I don't like High School of the Dead. I honestly don't know why. Honestly, I think I should probably give it like a 5. I'm gonna go and do that, I think. Because I don't like that much fan service, you know? It was when I watched it, I guess. But it's bad, you know? It's not good. High School of the Dead, it's bad. It's just bad. I think it's bad. I honestly think it's bad. I don't know. Next is Dragon Ball Z Bio Broly, which is honestly the worst Dragon Ball movie, probably. I think a lot of people might not even know this movie exists. This is where Broly comes back for a third time. They clone him and make him in. But okay, so Broly comes back a third time. Okay, so you watch the first 2 Broly movies. You know, Broly's hype character. Now imagine he comes back a third time, but instead they fucking ruin him completely and make him just a fucking blob that fucking goes around and does nothing. Yeah, that's what happens. And yeah, and it's bad. It's pretty bad. It's not that it's pretty it's like the worst Dragon Ball movie. It's okay, but like why bring Broly back if you're just going to make him even worse? Like what do you think? Like what? It's not good. It's actually not good. And then the way they beat Broly is so anticlimactic. They just shoot the water and he turns to stone, and it's not like. Remember when the second Broly movie where there's that big climax with fucking Gohan, Goten, and Goku doing the family Kamehameha? And now on this one it's just like, oh, they just fly out, shoot the water, and he's just, oh, they beat him. Okay, well, I guess. It's just so, yeah. It's not that good. I think this is. What was it? Dragon Ball Z, the strongest, or something. What was it called? It's like the strongest. This is the one with Dr. Wheelo, I'm pretty sure. This is the one where Dr. Wheelo tries to like steal Goku's body, and it's okay. It's actually okay. I think it's a decent movie. It's pretty good, but it's nothing like I don't like it as much as the other movies. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's definitely better. This should maybe even be a 5 if now that I'm comparing it to like this one. Honestly, but yeah, This, the strongest, what's it called? I need to look at what it's called. The world's strongest, yeah, okay. Oh, what? Wait, wait, wait. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, so this is fine. It's fine. It's pretty good, I think. It's decent. It's a decent movie. Initial D extra stage? Okay, maybe this was the one about... I don't remember what these extra stages are about. I remember the main season, but these extra stages in Initial D were weird. I don't even remember what this one's about, but whatever. So this is probably the one I was mentioning earlier about this girl here. There's one that was just basically just about her relationship. I don't know. It's probably fine. I honestly don't remember what it's about. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. This is the old one. This one came out in like the 90s or 80s or something. I think it's fine. It's pretty good, honestly. It's weird. It's very like 90s, you know. It's very old school anime style, obviously. And it's definitely not as good as the new one, but it's cool. I think it's got like a charm to it, you know, like that 90s charm that it's got. And I think it's fine. I like it. I think it's worth watching if you like JoJo. It's not as good as the new version, but I think it's fine. It's got weird things, you know, but I think it's fine. It just, yeah. Okay. So next is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I've seen, okay, so as far as Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes, I've watched the first Yu-Gi-Oh! I rewatched the first Yu-Gi-Oh! I rewatched GX. I'm currently rewatching 5Ds. I've seen a decent bit of Zexal. That's pretty much it. I've seen barely any of them, the ones after that. I started watching Sevens, which I think is the newest one. But yeah, that's as far as it goes. But Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is okay. It's good. I think it's pretty good. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's good. I think it's good. It's got like that weird... I mean, the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like the dub. It's like, it's good. It's really bad. But in like a good way, you know? It's like the writing and stuff. Like, I feel like if you don't have any nostalgia for Yu-Gi-Oh! And you try watching like GX, you're probably gonna hate it, honestly. Cause I watched it and it was fine. I like it. It's got like a Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub has like a charm to it, you know. I really enjoy watching it. 5Ds is better than GX, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters is the best one in my opinion. But yeah, GX is fine. That's all I have to say about that. I'm a pretty big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, it's fine. It's got those weird peculiar. Full kids love doing the localizations and stuff. It's really weird. It's got some things in it. Like I said, if you don't really like Yu-Gi-Oh, have like nostalgia for the anime or something like that, you're probably gonna hate it honestly. But you know, it is what it is. Next is Spirited Away, and my problem with Spirited Away. I spent years hearing about Spirited Away and hearing people say like, "Oh, it's the best Ghibli movie. It's so good." And then I watched it, and it's like, it's so underwhelming. It's like my expectations for it was so high, honestly, and it's fine, but I don't know. I think the problem is just that my expectations were so high for it. That's why I didn't like it, honestly. Like I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but I expected to like it so much more than I did. And my favorite Ghibli movie is still Howl's Moving Castle. It was before I watched it, and it still is. Like I said, I think the problem is just my expectations are so high. Like, I say it's a good movie, but it's like, I don't know, I expect it to be like blown away by it from everything I'd heard. But it is what it is, you know. It's Spirited Away, I guess. Next is Mireruko-chan, which is a newer anime that came out like last season. It's pretty good. It's about this girl who sees ghosts and stuff, and it's pretty good. I think I really, really like the opening to this anime, and it's pretty good. It's a good anime. I think it's a good anime. I enjoyed it. Next is Ijira Nai de Nagatoro-san, or Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro-san. This is the one. I mean, this one. Any if you're in the anime community at all, I'm sure you know about this. I read the manga, but I read I read like 20 chapters of the manga, like a year before this anime, like was announced or something, or came out whenever. But I read basically most of what happened in the anime already in the manga before I watched this. And yeah, it's fine. I think it's a decent anime. Some people have problems with it, but it's like I'm fine with it. I think it's a pretty good anime. I can see how some things in it might be a little annoying, but it's like I'm pretty sure it has like a good conclusion. You know, the relationship and stuff. I think it's a decent anime. I think it's pretty good. Next is Tokyo Revengers, and Tokyo Revengers is like it's pretty good. It's got some really cool moments. I was pretty invested in it at some parts. Like Draken, was a part where I was really hoping he wouldn't die. I'm not gonna spoil if he does or not, but as far as like, whoa, is he gonna die? Oh, is he dead? I thought he died. Is he gonna die? And I was really invested in some parts. But then there are other parts where things get a little weird. It's just a little, like I don't know, boring. I guess I don't know how to say it, but I remember there being some parts that wasn't a huge fan of. But it's a pretty good anime, I'd say. I think it's definitely worth watching. It's pretty good. Next is Cells at Work Black, Hataraku Cyber. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I like the normal Cells at Work a lot more, I'm pretty sure, but it's pretty good, I'd say. If you like Cells at Work, I think it's worth giving it a watch. I could probably give this like a 6, but it's pretty good. Next is My Hero Academia 5th season. This is the newest one, alright? What happened in this one? Is this the one with Doofenshmirtz? Yeah, this is the one with Doofenshmirtz, okay. This is a decent season, I think. I think it's fine. Some people have said stuff like, oh, wow, My Hero Academia is terrible now, which it's not. It's still good. It's fallen off a little bit. It's not as exciting as it was at the start, but it's still good. I still enjoy it, you know. It still has some hype moments, I think. I still like it. I still like My Hero Academia. I think it's pretty good. It's a decent anime, definitely. And as far as the 5th season goes, this was the season. Yeah, okay, yeah. There was some. I definitely had problems in it. One of the biggest problems I had with it is just this small thing that really annoyed me. I don't know if anyone knows the reason for this, but they had like this competition between like class A and B, and there was a part in it where this mushroom girl grew these mushrooms that made these people pass out when they like smelled it or breathed in it or something. But the problem with that was that it only made the people in Class A pass out, even though the people in Class B were like right there with them, and they won't like wearing masks or anything. So I'm assuming they would have also breathed it in, but only the Class A passed out, and they didn't mention that fact at all. And it's like, okay, but if they were there too, shouldn't they have also passed out? And they didn't. There weren't any parts where the commercial goes like, oh, I can make it work on whoever I want. I mean, they just didn't mention it at all, and it really annoyed me. So yeah, That's the one thing I really remember from that season. The biggest thing I remember, it had Doofenshmirtz, whatever his name was. What was it again? It was like I don't remember. I don't remember his name. But it was a pretty good season, I'd say. That one thing though just really, really annoyed me. It's pretty good. I think My Hero Academia is still pretty good. Uh, this is Fire Force. Is this the first or the second season? Okay, this is season 2. Okay, so yeah, Fire Force season 2 is fine. I think it's pretty good. I think Fire Force is pretty good. That's all I really have to say about it. I think it's good. Again, it's been a while since I watched it. I don't remember exactly what happens in, like, season 1, I remember what happens. I remember some things that happened to this one, like there was this big, like, a reveal, they went to this forest, and there was this thing though, and yeah, it's good. I think Fire Force is pretty good. Okay, next is Zombieland Saga Revenge, which is also pretty good. Zombieland Saga is a good anime, and the second season was good. I really like Zombieland Saga. I don't think this one was. I don't think I like this one quite as much as the first season, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. This was the one where they apparently had a big show and it failed, and the whole season's been them trying to make a comeback, pretty much. Alright, here's no. Is this the first season? Yeah. Wait, is that the first season? No, this is the second season. Okay. So the second season wasn't nearly as good as the first season in my opinion, and the second season only had 8 episodes, which is too short. And other than that, it was fine. Scissor Work is really good. It's really cool. Scissor Work like explains the body, but it makes it really entertaining, and it's an anime at the same time. So I like Scissor Work, but season 2 wasn't as good, and it was too short. So that's about that. That's about it for that. Next is Machikado Mazoku, which is the one about the demon girl and the magical girl. I really like this anime, honestly. It's really cute. I like this anime. I honestly really like this anime. That's all that I really have to say about it. So there's a demon girl. She finds out she's a demon girl one day, and then she meets a magical girl, and it's like, oh, you have to get her blood so you can restore your family's powers so that you won't be poor anymore. But then she's too weak to do that, and like they just end up having a really cute relationship with each other, and I really like it. This is a good anime. That's all I really have to say about it. It's good. It's definitely good. I like this anime. Next is this anime called Shake-chan. I don't even remember what this was, like some fucking short thing about this fish that wanted to get like eaten or something. And this is basically just a meme, honestly. I just put this on here as a meme mostly, really. This isn't even anything. I don't even know what to say about it. Next is Fire Force Season 1, which I think is probably a little better than the second season, I guess. There's some things okay, my biggest problem with Fire Force is that the powers in Fire Force start to make literally no sense. So everyone's powers are like fire. They are some form of fire. But they start doing fucking crazy shit with that. It's like, okay, I can make ice because I make fire with sound. Like, okay, how the fuck do you explain someone making ice with with fire? And then this is the guy. Okay, I'm gonna spoil this here. Okay, I'm spoilers for Fire Force here. The main character, whatever his name is, his brother, his power is to fucking stop time because he like heats up the entire universe so much, or some shit like that. That was the explanation for it, but he could stop time with fire, basically. Like I said, everyone's powers have to be based off fire, so somehow he can use fire to stop time. Like, that's the problem, the powers get too crazy. Like, how do you, like, that's just a little too out there for me, That's my biggest problem with Fire Force. But it's good. It's a good anime. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Next is Watashi ni Tenshi ga Mari Oita. Oh, an angel was sent down to me. And this is a pretty good anime. It's basically this girl is in love with this child, pretty much. And they take pictures and they do cute stuff. It's one of those anime slice of life. I like slice of life, so it's a good anime. I like it. That's all I really have to say. Next is Agretsuko season 2. It's good. Agretsuko is a good anime. Both seasons. It's good. It's just good. It's about this girl. She goes and she has problems. So in order to vent her frustrations, she sings death metal. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's good. The first season of Zombieland Saga, I think, is a little better than the second season. Probably, they're pretty similar, I guess. But it's good. It's good. Zombieland Saga is good. You know, I like the music, even though it's not like Love Live where they sing a bunch of different. Like Zombieland Saga, whenever they do a performance, it's mostly just the same song over and over again, for the most part. It's a little that's a little better in season 2 actually, but yeah. But the song is really good. I like the song. I'm kind of a sucker for music, so it's pretty good. I like it. I like it. It's funny too. So I think it's pretty funny sometimes as well. First season of that time I got reincarnated as a slime or Tensai Shita Slime Datakin. It's pretty good. I really liked it the first time I watched it. But then I rewatched it and I didn't like it. I liked it like half as much. I didn't enjoy it nearly as much. So I think it used to be an 8, but then after I rewatched it, I made it a 7. But it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's decent. There are some parts in it that I really enjoyed. You know, it's a good anime. The guy gets reincarnated as a slime. It's pretty good. It's your typical isekai though. He gets reincarnated. He's OP, super powerful. You know, the typical isekai thing really. But it's pretty good. Watashi no yoku wa headkenshi de te ita yone. I thought I said to be. I thought I said to be reincarnated with average abilities. I thought I said I wanted average abilities in my next life. Something like that. Yeah. This is the average abilities anime. It's really good. This girl gets reincarnated and she wanted average abilities, but the god or whatever who reincarnated her was like, okay, average. I'll take the average of the weakest and the strongest person in this world. And so then so she ends up being half as strong as the strongest being in the world. So she ends up being OP for the most part. At least for this whole first season, she definitely was. And it's good. It's a good anime. I really like it. The opening is really good. I love the opening. I love the opening for this show. It's a really good show, actually. I really like it. Next is How Not to Be a Demon Lord or whatever. I don't know why this is a 7. This should definitely be a 6, probably. I'll go ahead and change that, I think. But this anime is... It's certainly something. It's like... It's... Yeah. This guy gets summoned to another world, and these two girls, like, want to make him their slave or something, like... So they'll do whatever he says, pretty much. So they'll be in, like, a pact with him, but they accidentally... but like the spell gets like reflected, or they accidentally do something, and they get put under like his spell, and they have to do whatever he says, pretty much. And he's very OP and the strongest person in the world as usual. And weird stuff happens. That's pretty much it. The first season of Sales at Work is really good. The platelets are the fucking cutest thing I've ever seen. The opening is really good. There's lots of cool stuff. It's very entertaining. It's just a great show. Okay, Sales at Work is really good. Gretsuko, first season, I mean, the same thing I said about the second season, really. Soda Online, Gun Gale Online is okay. It's a good anime. I think it's good. It's at least better than Soda Online 2, I guess. It's pretty good. It's fine, you know. It's got some problems for sure, I'd say probably, but it's pretty good. And also the ending, the ED for this anime, To See the Future, is so fucking good. That is one of my favorite songs. The ending of this anime, I love the ending of this anime so much. I rewatched this anime just so I could watch the ending again. Honestly, it's so good. The ending is so good. Like honestly, it's got probably just got a 7 just because that ending is so good. I love the ending. It's pretty good though. It's a decent anime. Ito Junji collection. So some people really hate on this, and I see why. You know, Ito Junji. I love Ito Junji so much. I've read a decent number of his manga and stuff, and it's really good. But people really hate on this because of mostly because of the animation. But personally, I don't think the animation needs to be amazing to still have like the feel of it. And I think it could be a lot better, and I do think it has problems. But there was that one episode of it with I think it was the neighbor next door, whatever, the window next door, whatever that one story is called, with the old lady on the window in the window next to this guy's house, and that episode really scared me. And I don't think the animation needed to be what scared me wasn't the animation; it was the voice acting. I read that story and it was pretty cool, you know. But actually hearing the old lady be like, "Young man, let me in," or whatever she said, actually hearing that in that creepy voice made it a lot better than reading the manga to me personally. I think people forget just how much of an advantage anime has on manga. You've got the animation, the movement, the colors, and you've got sound. The manga doesn't have any of that. So you can use all three of those to elevate it, you know, above the manga. And personally, I think the sound is what really made the Ita Junji anime better than some of the stories in the anime better than in the manga was the sound, not the animation. And that's just my personal opinion. I still only gave it a 7 because yeah, the animation is a bit of a problem sometimes. But I still think it's pretty good. And I love Ito Junji, and the manga is probably still better. But personally, I still like the Ito Junji collection. Next is Netju no Susume, or I think this was called Recovery of an MMO Junkie. This is a really good anime. In this anime, this girl is like, okay, I think what happens is this girl is like, she's like addicted to MMOs, and she's playing them all the time. And she meets this guy in this game. They like fall in love basically. It turns out they also used to know each other when they were children. They also played a game together, and it's like a bunch of stuff. And they also meet. It's a bunch of weird coincidences where they meet each other in the game and in real life. And it turns out they also knew each other when they were like kids. It's a little weird, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's really nice, really wholesome. It's a good anime. Attack on Titan season 3 is like the weakest season of Attack on Titan probably. It's going to be pretty hard for me to remember exactly what happens in the different seasons of this. This is probably the one, like I said, I don't remember exactly what happens in each season. This is probably the one with well, they try to this is probably the one with where the guy turns into the big titan on the wall and stuff, like whatever. But, yeah, I don't remember exactly what things happen in this season. But every season of Attack on Titan is really good, I'd say. This is probably just the weakest one, I'd say. Next is Kobayashi and Dragon Maids, the Valentine special. So I've read the entire Kobayashi manga, and so, you know, this was in the manga, but it wasn't in the anime, but then they did a special just separately for it. And it's pretty good. It's good. You know, it's just it's your average Kobayashi story pretty much, you know, just they do this thing for yeah, it's cool. It's Kobayashi. That's pretty much it. It's good. I like it. I think this was the one where Toru tries to Is this where Kotoru tries to like use that love spell on on Kobayashi? I think so. They also like make chocolates and stuff, and it's really cute as usual. I like it. It's good. Next is Kobayashi Dragon, Kobayashi Sanshino Blink Dragon, and this is just a cute little special show they did where they did a bunch of skits where they replaced Maid Dragon with a bunch of different stuff, and it was really cute. That's pretty much it. It's fine. It's good. It's really short. There's no reason not to watch it, I guess. Next is Ahogo. Ahogo has like a really good opening. I like the opening for Ahogo a lot. Ahogo basically just means stupid girl, and it's about a girl who's really stupid, and it's funny sometimes. I think I like it. It's good. I think it's pretty good. I like it. Yeah. Next is Blend S, which has the meme opening, smile, sweet, Sophis, surprise, so whatever, however it goes, it has that meme opening. Everyone knows about that, but it's a good anime. I like it actually. I think it's a good anime. I think it's pretty good. I like the opening's actually really good, and I like it a lot actually. It's good. It's actually a good anime. Next is Eromanga Sensei, which has a lot of glaring issues. So the plot of this is basically this guy falling in love with Lolly, who's also his sister, but it's fine because they're not related by blood. Which is basically where every single meme about anime and not like incest anime comes from, is basically this anime. But I think it's actually a decent anime. I think it's fine. That whole thing about what I mentioned is a huge problem, and I wouldn't blame anyone for giving it a much lower score just for that. But I think it's fine. It's whatever. I mean, it's just an anime. I don't really care. Next is Love Live Sunshine, and I like Love Live a lot. Love Live Sunshine wasn't as good as the first Love Live, but I do like it, and it's pretty good. That's all I have to say about that. Next is One Punch Man Road to a Hero, which is just a special about Saitama first becoming a hero, and it's pretty good. Next is Shimoneta to Iru Gainen ga Sunzai Shinai Taikutsu na Sekai. Oh, you could just call it Shimoneta, which is what I think most people do. This is a really good anime about these people who live in a world where Japan has outlawed all things sexual or explicit in any way at all. You're not allowed to curse, you're not allowed to make sexual references, all this stuff. And those they have devices that would alert the authorities if you did anything sexual. Like all porn is outlawed and all that. And this is about these group of people who are trying to change Japan, and by being as sexual as possible and not that stuff. And it's a really funny anime actually. It's really good. This is a good anime. It's pretty fun. It's a fun anime, I guess you could say. Next is Yuki Yuna is a Hero, which has a season 2 that I haven't watched yet, but I've been planning to watch. But it's pretty good. Think of it kind of as like a Madoka Magica, but not done quite as well, I'd say. So there are magical girls, and there's a dark twist, and that's pretty much it. It's good. I like it though. I think it's pretty good. It's a good anime. It's pretty good. Little Witch Academia. Is this the movie? Yeah, the movie. I watched everything about Little Witch Academia, but the show is what I know the most. I don't remember exactly what happened in the movie, but it's fine. I think there was it was weird watching this and watching the anime. It was is weirdly different what happened in it, but yeah, it's interesting. That's all I really have to say about it. Okay, so here we're on to Neptune. I've played one of the Neptune games and it was pretty good. But I really, really like the Neptune anime actually. I think it's really good. I think the opening and ending of this game are both really good. I play them both in Asu all the time, especially the ending. And I really like this anime. I really do. I think it's good. It's a really good anime, I think. And that's about it. All the characters, the whole thing, a lot of the world, it's based off game consoles. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I played one of the games, but that's about it. Neko Monogatari is the one of the. There's a lot of Monogatari's, and oh, this is the one about the. It's this is the one about what was her name again? I remember most of the names. Those Shinjo Gahara, Araragi, and what was her name? Ah, fuck, I don't remember her name, but she like turns into a cat, and that's what this is about. It's pretty good. Most of Monogatari is pretty good, and that's about it. Here's another Little Witch Academia movie. Okay, so the other movie was the one about where they flew that parade. Okay, yeah. That was okay. That one was just okay. This one was better. Still not as good as like the normal anime. I think this came first and then they made the anime. I think maybe, but yeah, it's okay. It's pretty good. The first arc, the first half of the first season of Sword Art Online, is the best Sword Art Online is ever is. Is the Aincrad arc, you know, and then it just gets worse and worse after that. So that says a 7. This is the best season of Sword Art Online. In part 2, after they leave Aincrad, they go to this part with the elves, and that part gets pretty bad, honestly. There's this weird part where this guy tries to rape Asuna, pretty much. And it's bad, I don't like it. But it's the best season of Sword Art Online. And that's pretty much it. Next is Koe wa Zombie Desuka. And this is a pretty good anime. This guy gets killed. This girl turns into a zombie, and he meets a necromancer, a vampire ninja, and a bunch of other stuff. And he becomes a magical girl as well as a zombie, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got a good ending that I like, and it's pretty funny sometimes. Next is Oreimo. I only watched the first season of this. I really, really liked the first season of this. The opening of this anime is one of the best openings. I love the opening of Oreimo so much. It's so good. It's called Irony by Claris, and it's so good. But I watched the first season, and it's really good. I liked the ending a lot, and I really liked this anime. But then I saw a part from the second season where he fucking marries his sister, and that ruined the whole thing for me. So, I thought when I first watched this, and I will get cut to the end, I thought, okay, I thought the plot of this anime, I thought the point of it would be like, okay, so they're alluding to him having a relationship with his sister, but he's going to actually end up with this other girl, and they're making like some kind of a joke about that or something. But no, and apparently in season 2 he actually fucking marries his sister, and ruins everything I liked about it pretty much. But I still gave it a 7 because if you forget about season 2 and look at it the way I did, then it's actually pretty good, and I like the ending. Anyway, that's about it. Fairy Tail is really fucking good. I love Fairy Tail. This is the first one. It gets a lot better in like Fairy Tail 2015 or whatever. But Fairy Tail is really good. It has a lot of really good openings. I love Fairy Tail, and that's about all I have to say about it. Summer Wars? Oh, Summer Wars, yeah. This is the one about where you go into this like game and this virus or whatever tries to take over. It's really good. The animation is really good. My only real problem is that the anime has nothing to do with summer or wars. And that's my only problem with it. Next is Bakemonogatari, which is like the first one, and it's really good. But Monogatari has a lot of, like basically every Monogatari opening is really good. And that's about it. This guy becomes a vampire. Well, the anime starts off and this guy's like, it's first starting with the Monogatari, with Bakemonogatari, is all actually really confusing because it's like at first they kind of like explain stuff to you, and then later on, the one series that come after that, like if there's like a prequel of what happened before that, and then you really understand what happened. But yeah, this guy used to be a vampire, and this girl is he goes around. This guy, his name was like Onobu or something, and they fix these curses, that are on people and stuff. It's interesting. Monogatari is an interesting series, and it's pretty good. This is Broly's Second Coming, which is pretty good. Broly is even worse than in the first Broly movie. He talks even less, and yeah, but he's still kind of cool. And the ending where they finish him with the family Kamehameha is still really cool, I think. But that's about it. Okay, Metacola movie, Dragon Ball Metacola. Okay, the Metacola movie is decent. It's good, but it's not great. It's got problems, probably, but it's fine. It's a decent movie. Which one is this? Movie 4? Okay, this is the Lord Slug movie. So, this is also a good movie, I think. No real problems with it. This is where Lord Slug comes. He's basically just King Piccolo again. He wishes to be young. He becomes giant, and they do some cool stuff. Movie 3. Oh, this is the Turles movie. Yeah, the Turles movie is pretty good too. Turles comes down. He's evil Goku. Was he the first evil Goku? Was Turles the first evil Goku? I probably. Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, he comes. He's like, oh, and then it's pretty good. It's a decent movie. Next is the Dead Zone movie, which is also pretty good. Garlic Jr. shows up. He kills himself by summoning the Dead Zone, and that's pretty much it. Fate Stay Night is pretty good. People die when they're killed, you know. It's pretty good. This is not the one where they say that, I think. Oh, is it? I don't. Maybe it is. I don't remember. Next is Bleach. Bleach is really good, but it has some really bad problems. First of all, it's full of filler. That's the biggest issue, probably. There's lots of fights where there's so many fights that they really drag on, way more than they need to. And it's filler hell. It's just filler hell. And even without the filler episodes, there are times where, like I said, they drag on the fights too much. And it gets really boring. But it has some really, really, really good openings and some really good moments in there. So it's probably worth watching. But try to skip the filler. It's got the same problems as One Piece, where One Piece, most of the time, instead of having filler, they just fucking drag out the moments to insane proportions. Like, there'll be part of the manga in One Piece where they're fucking riding an elevator up something, but in the anime, they'll be riding in that elevator for 10 episodes so that they can stretch that moment out as long as possible so they don't have to do filler. And it's fucking awful. It's the worst thing ever. That's why the One Piece anime is so bad sometimes. I mean, the fucking, like, oh my god, the Punk Hazard arc, oh my god, it gets so bad in the Punk, well, I'll talk about it when I get to One Piece, but it's so much filler, so much fucking filler, and it's so bad. It's a good anime, but the filler really is really bad. Next is Elfen Lied, and Elfen Lied is really good. It's about this girl. She's like an alien. She kills lots of people, and it's good. It's a good anime. The opening is pretty cool, I have to say. It's a cool opening. I like the opening. It's a good anime. Definitely good. A lot more happens in the manga, apparently, but, you know, we don't get any animes because whatever. Next is Normal Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball is obviously good. I don't like it as much as Dragon Ball Z, but it's good. I enjoy it. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, it's really good. There's a lot to like about it. I don't think there's any reason not to like Dragon Ball. I feel like any people who says like, oh, I hate Dragon Ball, I hate Naruto, and stuff, I'll just like a lot of people don't like anime like this just because they're mainstream. Like just because they're mainstream and a lot of people like it, it's like you can't like it because everyone else does. Apparently, I don't know. It's stupid. Initial D forward stage. I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember what happens in Initial D, but every Initial D is really good. Some of the races are really cool. The music in Initial D is by far the best part. Initial D has some of the best music you'll ever hear. The music is so good in Initial D. And the forward stage, this one's a movie. I think this is the one where he races that like guy who used to be a pro racer or something. Is this the one where it plays Forever Young? Because I really like that song. This is pretty good. Its forward stage is Initial D is really good, but probably don't watch like the extra stage and battle stage because they're just not worth watching. But the initial D is really good. Initial D is worth watching just for the goddamn music, honestly. Initial D is definitely good. The original Hunter x Hunter is pretty good. It's not as good as the newer one, in my opinion, but it's pretty good. Really good opening. I'll talk more about Hunter x Hunter when we get to the newer version. The original Full Metal Alchemist is pretty bad. It starts off the same as Brotherhood, but it gets... what happened with it is they changed, like, the ending because the manga wasn't finished yet or something like that, and the ending is terrible and doesn't make any sense, and that's pretty much it. It's other than that, it's pretty good though, I guess. So I haven't watched the newest season of Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer yet because I'm waiting for something to watch that. But I feel it's really good. But here's the Muga Rasahin, which is the Mugen Train movie, but in an anime. And I gave it a 7 because it's just the movie again. The movie I gave like an 8 or 9, but this I gave a 7 because it's literally just the movie again. So, yeah. Wonder Egg Priority. Oh, look, we're getting to... Oh, no, 8. Oh, yeah, cool. We're getting to 8 now. That's cool. But yeah, it's just the movie again. So I'm pretty sure I gave it a score less than the movie. Anyway, Wonder Egg Priority is... really good. The only problem I have with Wonder Egg Priority, there were some things that happened in Wonder Egg Priority that really like made me change some of my opinions, honestly. I'm not going to say what they are because I'm just not. But it's a really good anime. There's only one problem I have with it, and that's that it ends, the anime ends really abruptly. Like the last episode ends like really like abruptly, like not without a real conclusion kinda, and it's really weird. It's like... that's not really a problem with it. It's just that if there's a season 2, you know, it'll be fine. But it's if we never get any more of this, then it's a really fucking terrible ending. You know what I mean? But it's a really good anime. I think I like it a lot. ReZero season 2. ReZero is very good. Season 2 is just as good as the first season, if not better. I hated Amelia. I didn't hate her, but I did not like Amelia very much after the first season. But I like Amelia after watching season 2. That's what I want to say. After watching season 2, Amelia's pretty good now. I'm okay with Amelia now, you know. Yeah, and it's really good. See, ReZero is really good. Beastar second season is pretty good. Not as good as the first, I'd say. There was a weird part at the end where something happened and it didn't seem necessary, but it's whatever. I still gave it an 8. I still think it's really good. Beastars is pretty good. Dr. Stone, Stone Wars, not quite as good as first season, but I don't think it's as bad as some people I've heard say it is. Dr. Stone is really good. It has some really good openings and endings as well. I like all of them. They're really good. Well, I like most of them. The first season has Good Morning World, which I really like a lot. The season 2 has Sangin Shoku by Pelican Fan Club, which I like a lot. And it's got this other, I think it's an ending called Life, which is also a really good song. And lots of good openings and endings here. A really good anime. It's so good. It's a great fucking anime, and I can't wait for more of it. Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the best anime we've gotten in a while, I'd say. It's really good. I gave it an 8 because I really enjoyed it, but I didn't like it as much as... it was a little overhyped for me. It's very, very good, but not quite as good as I have heard some people. Some people say it was like the best shonen ever, it's saving anime or stuff like that, but it's really good, but it's not that good. Is what I think. It's got a very good opening, it's an amazing opening, and it's a very good show, but it's not like the best shonen ever or anything. But it is really, really good. Definitely. Next is B&A, Brand New Animal. So I'm a fucking simp for Studio Trigger, so I gave it an 8. It's really good. Studio Trigger is amazing. I like anything they put out. And B&A is pretty good. A good opening, a good ending, and it's a really good anime, I think. ReZero second season, the same as the other one, really. Slime Dotakin second season I liked more than the first season, actually. Spoilers for this, but Rimuru just fucking kills like a couple thousand people or something, and I really like that. I was like, why he just fucking killed all those people? It's like, okay, I thought that was cool. I liked it. Mushoku Tensei is really good, honestly. It's some parts have a little too much fan service. It's not like nearly as bad as like High School of the Dead, you know? I think it's got close to the right amount of fan service, but it's just a little too much sometimes, you know? For some, you know what I'm talking about, even if you've seen it, though. Some parts, it's a little much, honestly, but it's not too bad. It's a really good show, other than the fan service, I think. It's a really good show. I really like Mushoku Tensei. It's pretty good. Kobayashi Season 2. I didn't like it quite as much as the first season, I think, but I haven't finished rewatching it yet. It's really good. I really like it. Like I said, I've read the manga. I've watched both seasons multiple times, pretty much, and I'm a big fan of Kobayashi Dragon Maid. And it's really good. Really good opening. The show's really good. Some good animation. It's really good. It's just really good. I wasn't sure where they were going to end season 2, but yeah. That's where they did it. You know, that's how they did it. It was really good, you know. It's really good. I like it. Beastars first season is a bit better than the second season, I think. It's really good. It's a really good show. Some people are like, oh, it's a furry show or something, but it's like, you know, I do not like furries much at all, honestly. I'm not a big fan of any of that stuff. But Beastars is still really good. Like, it doesn't, like, it's a really good show, you know? It just is. That's just the way it is. First season of Dr. Stone, a little bit better than the second season, I think, again. It's really good. Seeing them starting out, like Senku, like waking up, and them starting out building the civilization, like them discovering this power and stuff, is so good. Also, one thing I didn't mention about the second season, it's in the first season too. I'm such a sucker for when they play the opening during the episode. Like in this season, they play Good Morning World while they're building like the phone, you know, like the cell phone. And in season 2, they play Sangen Shoku, like when Senku and what was his name? Hold on, Tsukasa. When Senku and Tsukasa like team up at the end there, they play Sangen Shoku, and I love it. I love that part so much. I love when they play the opening during the episode. I'm such a sucker for that kind of thing, and I love it. Otome game no Hametsu flag shika nai yayu yaku reji ni ten. I can't even. It cuts off. Whatever. This is. I think it's like It's like I got reincarnated as a villainess, and it's full of red flags or something like that. 9X Life as a Villainess is what this is called, pretty much, and it's really good. I really like this show, actually. Is this the first season or the second season? Yeah, my next life as a villain is all that routes lead to doom. Yeah, okay. This is the first season. It's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. It's cute and it's a good show. Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. I think this is the one where they go to the basement and find out what's down there. Really fucking good. That's all I have to say about that. Isekai Quartet, it's a fucking, like, collab, like a crossover between a bunch of different isekai, and it's really good. Like, I love seeing crazy crossovers like this, dude. It's really fun. It's just, I like Isekai Quartet quite a bit, actually. Season 2 wasn't quite as good. Like, Ifumi showed up. Naofumi showed up, and he didn't do any. He did almost nothing the whole season. It's like, what? Like, why did they even introduce him? Like, what? But it's pretty good still. My Hero Academia 4th season, is this the one where they do the raid on like the villain hideout? Because if that's the case, then this is a really fucking good season. Yeah, I think that's what this is. Okay, so the part where Mirio has to, okay, spoilers for this season, I guess, but the part where Mirio is fighting with them to try to save whatever the girl's name is, I don't remember, and he loses his powers like that, and then he keeps fighting. That is by far the best part of this whole season, and the fight at the end about the fight against Deku and like who that fucking breakdown or whatever his name was, I don't know. Like I don't even care. The part Mirio doing that part there is the best part, and it's really, really good. I love that part. It's a very hype moment, and I like it a lot. Animation's pretty good for a lot of it, and it's pretty good. Demon Slayer first season, really, really fucking good. One of the single best anime openings I have ever seen. That is not an exaggeration. Go and Gay is one of my favorite openings ever. It might even be my favorite anime opening. It's probably not, but it's up there. It's one of the best openings ever. And it's a really good show. And it's only got an 8 because it's really good, but it's not it's really good. Like what episode was it again? Was it episode 18 or 16? I don't know. You know I think it was episode 19 actually. The episode that broke the internet or whatever was amazing. That episode was fucking amazing. That episode blew everyone away. It blew me away, and I loved it. But the rest of the anime is good, but it's not like that one episode is just so far above the rest of it. I feel like, you know, if it was just that episode, it'd be like a 9 or a 10. But the rest of it is good, but not nearly as good. So I gave it an 8. But the animation is always amazing, and apparently it's even better in the new season. So it's pretty crazy. Next is I'm a Spider, So What? Kumo desu ga Nanika? It's really good. So this anime starts off, and it's like, it turns out that this whole time in the anime, they're going between okay, spoilers. They're big spoilers actually, because this is really cool to watch. Okay, don't listen to this if you want to watch this, I guess. But the thing is, in the anime, that the whole time they're going between two perspectives, between the spider and these people. But at the end, it turns out that the stuff that was happening with the spider was happening in the past, and the people are happening in the present. And then there's a big reveal at the end, and it's really cool. And I really like this anime. And that's about that. And it's not your typical isekai where she's so OP and stuff. She probably is OP by the end, but she really, really has to work really hard to level up and get to that point, you know. You watch her like journey, her struggle to get to that point. Instead of most isekai, well, she just kind of starts out amazing and OP and all that. So it's pretty crazy. It's really good, actually. That is definitely a much better way to do it than most other isekai, I'd say. Anyway, next is Promised Neverland. The first season is amazing, one of the best things. First season of Promised Neverland is amazing. Don't watch season 2. Whatever you do, do not watch season 2. Please, it's so bad. But the first season is amazing. Hitori Bochi is so good. I fucking love Bochi, dude. Bochi is so good. I love Bochi so much, dude. It's such a cute anime, and the manga too. It's so good. I love Bochi. Bochi is about this girl. I relate to a lot of these shows like Komi-san and Bochi too, because I have pretty bad social anxiety, so I can relate to these anime, you know. And Bochi is, yeah, so Komi-san is like a bit more serious take on the social anxiety, while Hitori Bochi is more like a Kyoto take on the whole social anxiety thing, but they both do it well, I think. And I really, really like it. Hitori Bochi is it's such a cute anime. I love Bochi so much. I liked Bochi a lot, and then like I didn't. Then I heard that it was getting an anime, and then the anime came out, and it was amazing. Hitori Bochi is one of the first, probably the first anime where I read the manga, and I really liked it before the anime was announced. So that's probably the only time that's ever really happened to me. Because I mostly watch anime. I don't read a whole lot of manga. But yeah, Bochi is so good. It's so cute, and it's so like, she's trying to make friends with everyone in class and all that, and she has a really hard time talking to people, and it's, like I said, it's relatable to me, and it's just really good as well. So, yeah. I could honestly give this like a 9 probably if I wanted to, but it's a really good anime. Next is Vinland Saga, and Vinland Saga is really, really, really good. Again, the only problem I have with Vinland Saga really that I can think of right now, because it's been a while since I watched, the only problem I have with it I can think of is it was a little overhyped for me. It wasn't as good as I'd hoped it wasn't quite as good as I'd hoped it was, but it's still a really good anime. It's really Vinland Saga is like it's a seinen, so it's a bit more serious. It's about Vikings, and it gets fucking crazy. It's a Vinland Saga is a very, very good. Next is Happy Sugar Life, and the thing about Happy Sugar Life is every fucking character in that show is fucking insane. They all have some sort of fucking problem with them. Like, so this one guy is like a fucking lolicon. This one girl is like insane. The main character is like obsessed with this one girl and killed someone, and then like even the child there, she's kind of like every character in this show is pretty much a terrible person. But I really like this anime, and it has a really good opening and some really weird moments in it as well. But I think it's a really good anime personally. Next is Made in the Abyss Movie 1. So, Made in the Abyss is an amazing anime. Made in the Abyss is actually an amazing anime. The music at some parts is so good, and it's Made in the Abyss is just so good. And I can't wait for more of it. The newer movie we got like a while ago, like a year ago now probably, whenever that came out, was so good, and it's just amazing. So this is the movie. There were 3 movies that were a recap of the anime, and this is the first movie, which I gave an 8, and it's really good. And that's all I can say about it. I guess I can explain the plot if you don't know. Made in the Abyss is about okay, so there's this girl. I guess I should start with the Abyss. Okay, so Made in the Abyss is about, there's this island, like this place, I think it's an island, but there's this huge hole in the middle of it, and it's called the Abyss. And it goes down like hundreds and hundreds, thousands probably of meters. No one really knows where it ends. But there's stuff in the Abyss, like ancient artifacts and stuff, and people explore it to find these artifacts and stuff. And there's like a village centered around the Abyss, and they're all about exploring it and stuff. And this girl, the main character, had her mother explore the Abyss, but her mother's gone now, assumingly dead, but who knows, she might not be. And she goes into the Abyss to possibly find her mother, and she's trying to get to the bottom of the Abyss. And the thing about the Abyss is that you can't leave. Once you go so deep in the Abyss, you can't leave, because there's like a curse of the Abyss. And there's this robot named Reg who comes out of the Abyss at the beginning, and then they both go into the Abyss together. And it's just a really good show. And the world, like this Abyss, is such a crazy, like, world, with all these crazy creatures and stuff. Like the monsters and the creatures that are in the abyss are probably one of the most interesting parts of the show. And it's so good. Like, I could say so much about it. I'll say a little more when we get to the next part, probably. When we get to, like, the actual anime. Mob Psycho Season 2 is really good. It's about, it made by supposed to made One Punch Man, it's about a guy with psychic powers, and that's about it. It's really good, you know? It's a really good show. Goblin Slayer is really good. I really like Goblin Slayer. My favorite part about Goblin Slayer is that it's not an isekai. It's just a anime about a fantasy world with these characters who live in it and have always lived in it. Instead of every fucking other anime that comes out ever, where any anime ever that is about a fantasy world has to be an isekai. You know what I mean? It's so fucking refreshing to get an anime that's about this fantasy world that isn't an isekai. Like, it's so I honestly love it. It's like that. Just the fact that it's not an isekai is so good. Okay, it's honestly amazing. I'm so glad that it's not an isekai, and I'd love to get more anime about like these fantasy worlds that don't have to be an isekai. You know, like Made in the Abyss isn't an isekai either. You know, like they didn't get like sent to the abyss, you know, things like that. I really much prefer just a normal fantasy world rather than a person who gets killed and gets sent to the fantasy world, like literally 99% of these fucking anime are. But yeah, that's the biggest reason I like The Goblin Slayer. It's also just a really good anime. It's a really serious, really dark tones, serious subjects. Mostly at the beginning, honestly, but it's really good. The Goblin Slayer is honestly really good. A good opening too. None of the characters have names, which is such a cool concept, honestly. They just call them by like what they are, like priestess, goblin slayer, druid, archer, whatever what they call them, you know. They literally like don't call each other names and stuff. And you never see the Goblin Slayer's face, which is also really cool. And the Goblin Slayer isn't like some fucking crazy OP bastard who one-shots even goblins. There are 2 or 3 times where he gets fucking... the Goblin Slayer gets his shit fucked and he just almost dies. And it's really good. Like, I'm so glad it's not just like this typical isekai thing where the Goblin Slayer is one-shotting every fucking thing he sees and he happened to be from another world. It's so good. It's so refreshing to see this shit that isn't this typical isekai trope. I love it. It's so good. It's honestly really good. Next is Shogeki no Soma. Is this the train arc? Which one is it? Yeah, this is the train arc. So this is pretty... So I really like Shokugeki no Soma, or Food Wars, you know. I think Food Wars is a actually a really good show. And it has several good openings, I think, as well. Mostly the first opening. And it's really good. Soma is the main character and he's a god at cooking food. And that's what the anime is about. But also the anime is really good because Soma doesn't always win. He loses a couple times and you don't expect him to lose, but he does sometimes. And even at some really important moments he actually loses, you know? Which is good, you know? It's like, I like that kind of thing. Food Wars is really good, and I really like it. And it had a very so the thing is, I haven't seen the last season of Food Wars. I saw the 5th season, and the 5th season had a very satisfying conclusion on the end of it. And then I heard that the last season was bad, so I didn't watch it. And I probably won't watch it because the 5th season had such a satisfying conclusion, and they wrapped up everything. So I don't think I want to watch the new season if it's bad, you know? So yeah, that's about it. I'll talk a little more about it when we get to another season of it. I don't even know what this is. Oh, Land of the Lustrous. Oh, yeah. Land of the Lustrous is really good. The main character goes through a lot of big changes, and by the end of it, she's like a completely different person. And it's pretty cool. Land of the Lustrous is really good. And Land of the Lustrous is probably one of the best examples of what good CG looks like, you know? Land of the Lustrous is very good. Overload is an amazing anime. There's so much I love about Overload. Mostly how dark it is. Like, I'll go ahead and talk about one of my favorite parts of Overload. There's a part where there's a part where these free adventurers. So it starts with these three adventurers. Okay, you see these three adventurers. You get to learn a bit about their backstories. They have like families they're trying to provide for and stuff like that. They have relationships and all that. But then they try to invade the Tomb of Nazarick, which is where Einzulgon, the main character, happens to live. And they go in there to try to get some money, maybe. And then the three of them end up in this chamber with Ainz. And he's like, how dare you invade my tomb? I will now fucking kill you. And then you watch as these three characters who we just learned about and have a bit of their backstories, we watch as they all get mercilessly slaughtered by the main characters. And I fucking love it. I love that. That is so amazing. This anime about the main character who's trying to fucking take over the world. The protagonist is basically the bad guy, and he doesn't care to kill these people. Like, it's amazing. I like it a lot. It's a different perspective that you don't usually get, and I really like it. I like it a lot, actually. I think the trope of Ainz being so OP works a lot better since he's the villain, basically, you know? It's really good. And Demiurge is my favorite character. And that's about it. Seven Deadly Sins, which season is this? I don't know. Oh, okay, this is like season 2. Is this season 2? If this is the one where Escanor shows up, then it's amazing. The Escanor first showing up is the best part in all of Seven Deadly Sins, and one of the best moments in fucking almost any anime, honestly. Escanor first showing up. I watch the dub. If an anime has a dub, then I usually watch the dub. And just the moment where Escanor shows up, you know, and he just fucking kills, like, it's... I'm not gonna spoil it, but Escanor's first appearance is one of my favorite moments in, like, almost anything, honestly. Like, Escanor is so amazing, and I love it. So, Little Witch Academia. Finally, we get to the TV show. So, I love Little Witch Academia. I like the show a lot. I like the characters, really good openings. Like I said, I'm a simp for Studio Trigger, and I just really like this anime. Akko is the main character. She goes to a witch school, and it's pretty cool. It's cute, it's cool, it's got good moments. I just like it, you know. I'm a little biased, you know, because of Studio Trigger, but it's really good. Konosuba is very good. It's funny. It's makes fun of a lot of tropes and all that stuff. Konosuba is just really good. Yeah. That's all I really have to say about it. I love Megumin. Megumin's my favorite character. Next is Space Patrol Luluko, which is a Trigger anime that is really short, but somehow really good for how short it is, and I just like a lot. It's about this space patrol. They do crazy stuff. They go to these places, and it's pretty crazy. Somehow, it's honestly just it's the standard Trigger nonsense, really. You know, where they do this crazy thing, where they beat the bad guy at the end with the power of love or something, and it's I like it. You know, it's classic Studio Trigger, I guess. Okay, another. Oh fuck. Another one of these. Which season is this? Season 2. Is this the season where... Yeah, I think it is. Okay, this is the season where Soma loses that one really big thing, and it's really good. It's really good. Mostly just the same thoughts I said about it before. Once we get to season 5, I'll talk about what that other big thing I have to say about Food Wars. But for now, Mob Psycho 100 first season, again, really good. Reagan is an amazing character. Mob is really cool. He's OP. He does crazy stuff. A bunch of these, everything about it. Mob Psycho 100 is a really good anime. Really, really good openings. It's just really good. So Kizu Monogatari, the 3 Kizu Monogatari movies are really good. This is where we learned about Aradagi's past, where he met Shinobu, and he became a vampire, and then he had to like kill Shinobu and stuff, and it's really good. All 3 of them, that's pretty much all 3 of the movies, and it's really good, yeah. First season of ReZero, the same as like I said about the second season, it's really good. Subaru, he randomly gets teleported to like another world, he blinks and he's in another world, and now he has the power to revive. He dies a lot, he goes through like existential crisis, and yeah, he goes crazy for a bit. It's pretty good. Konosuba, again, really good. Dragon Ball Super. Okay, so here's what I have to say about Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super has like really high highs and really low lows, you know? So there's moments in Dragon Ball Super which are some of the most exciting, amazing moments in all of anime. Then there's some moments that are just the worst thing I've ever seen. Well, not it, that are pretty bad, I guess. There's some parts where the animation gets terrible. Like, don't even, just forget about like the first 30 episodes. I'm not even going to talk about those. But like in the Tournament of Power, things get so like boring at some parts because we're just like these random fucking characters who die, who get eliminated in the second, and it's like no one cares about these stupid characters like Ribrianne and stuff. But then it goes to the other moments, like Goku first going Ultra Instinct. Every time he goes Ultra Instinct, really. Goku versus Kefla, Android 17, Goku and Frieza versus Jiren. The first time Goku versus Jiren. It has moments, though, all of those moments, which are amazing. Android 17, Goku and Frieza versus Jiren is one of the best things I've ever seen. That single episode alone elevates the whole anime to just another level. Cause that moment by itself, like that last episode there, that whole episode is on another level than almost any other episode. Everything about it. It's like it was made by a fucking different person or something. That last episode there. And it's amazing. And Ultimate Battle, Kyukyo no Saisen, that song that plays, like Ultra Instinct, the Ultra Instinct theme that plays when Goku goes Ultra Instinct is such a good hype song, you know? And that's not it. That's not all. I'm not only talking about the Tournament of Power. The first time, you know, when I watched Hit vs. Goku and Goku used Kaioken, and it played like the opening, and Goku fucking styled all over Hit like that, that was amazing. That part, when I first watched that part, that's when I knew that this shit was good, you know? That this is the Dragon Ball this is what I wanted, you know? Classic Dragon Ball stuff. And then, honestly, there is the rest of it after that. The next part I'd say that was as hype as that for me. The only other time after that where got that hype again until the Tournament of Power was when Goku Black and Zamasu were fighting Goku by themselves, and Goku Black like stabbed Goku something, and then he told him how he killed his family, and then Goku gets really mad for a second and goes crazy and beats the shit out of Goku Black and Zamasu for like a hot second. That part was so hype for me, and then it doesn't get that hype again until like the Tournament of Power probably. So, like I said, this show Super has some really high highs in it. but it's also got some pretty low lows in it. If you're going to watch Dragon, if you haven't watched Dragon Ball Super and you're going to watch it, just skip like the first 40 episodes and watch the 2 movies. That's what you definitely do that. Definitely. I don't think you can even count the first 40 episodes against the show that much. They're just a retelling of the fucking 2 movies. And the animation never really gets quite that bad again, honestly, I'd say. So I remember when people were quoting like those 2 episodes of the animation from them and saying like this is why Dragon Ball is terrible, but it's just those episodes, so you can't really knock it for that, you know. Well, next is Assassination Classroom, and Assassination Classroom is really good, really good. A good opening, the ending is really good. You know, really sad. I really like Assassination Classroom. It's got some twists and stuff. It's a good anime. That's all there is to say about it. Monster Musume is a really good show. I really like it. It's like I like Monster Musume a lot. Maybe I just like Monster Girls, but I really like Monster Musume. An 8? Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't deserve an 8. I don't know. It's really good though, you know. Overload, I already said what I want to say about that. Ainz is an amazing character. His voice, in the dub, dude, and Ainz' voice is like amazing. And I have literally like practically no complaints about Overload. I think the whole anime is just really fucking good, honestly. Food Woes, first season, really good. Like I said, I'll talk about it when I get to the last season. Tokyo Ghoul A, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's good. The fight against Kaneki and Jason is really cool. It plays the opening. The opening of Tokyo Ghoul is one of the most iconic fucking anime openings ever. I like Tokyo Ghoul. Some people have a lot of problems with it, but I don't know anything about the manga. And it was one of the first anime I watched, so I really like it, you know. I think it's a really good anime. Attack on Titan Season 2, really good. Assassination Classroom, really good, like I said. Okay, now we get to School Days. Okay, the problem with School Days. Okay, School Days had one of the best first episodes I've ever watched. I am not going to spoil School Days, but the first episode is so good. Like, I rewatched the episode like 3 or 4 times, and it's so good. It starts off like they're all normal, and then there's a big twist in it. And when you rewatch the episode, I didn't notice anything when I first watched it, but when you rewatch the episode, there are so many little hints and nods at the twist leading up to that. And it's just done so well. And I love it. The first episode is so good. The problem with this anime is that the rest of the anime never gets quite that good again, and the ending of the anime isn't what I was hoping for. But the first episode is so good. And if you go into watching this first episode without knowing anything about this anime, I think you're going to love the first episode. The first episode of School Days, Gakugurashi, is so good. If you haven't been spoiled on School Days, and you watch the first episode, I think you'll love it. Honestly, it's just so good. I could say more about it, but I don't want to spoil anything. 7 Deadly Sins, the first season is really good. Parasite the Maxim is a really good anime. A really good opening. The whole anime is really good, I think. And that's about it. It's really good. It's about this guy. He gets infected with this parasite from space, or maybe it was created by the government. Who knows? I think that was a mystery that they never really solved, probably. But yeah, and he fights these other parasites, and he becomes less human, kinda. And the parasite becomes like more human, and it's pretty cool. It's a really good anime. Tokyo Ghoul first season, this is the one that has Kaneki vs. Jason, and it's really good. Probably a little better than the second season, but it's really good. The newer season of Tokyo Ghoul is bad. I didn't watch the whole thing. It's so whatever. It's not even on here. JoJo Part 3 Stardust Crusaders is really, really good. Uh, yeah, it's really good. I don't know what to say. Jotaro's like probably my favorite JoJo. Maybe, probably. It's really good. JoJo Part 3 is really good. The entire JoJo anime is really good. I've watched the whole anime. I've read Part 6 and 7. I haven't watched any of Part 6 yet, but I've read Part 6 and 7. And I've watched every other season of the anime. And Part 3 is really, really good. The whole concept of stands is just really cool. Every single JoJo opening, every single one is amazing, and it's really good. Haikyuu is so good. Haikyuu is really good. Really good openings, and it's got some. It's really good. There's one part I want to mention in particular that I blew me away. It was like let's see if I can remember exactly. So it's an anime about volleyball, and there was a part in it where like the main character Hinata was like running up to spike a ball, and then the volleyball was still not hit yet, and they're like, oh look, there goes Hinata, we have to stop him, he's about to hit the ball. But then they see another guy on the other side also who could also be about to hit the ball, and it's like, wait, but he might be the one to hit the ball, but there's like some other guy in the back who might hit the ball, and then they go through all of this in slow motion, and then I don't even remember his name, the black-haired guy, the rival, but then instead of hitting the ball to either of like those three guys, he just like gently taps it over the net. And that I was so surprised when I saw that. That one moment blew me away. That was so crazy. I didn't expect it at all, and I loved that. That one moment really blew me away. But yeah, Haikyuu's really good, and I need to finish it. Those most seasons I gotta watch. Okay, Knights of Sidonia is a good anime. It's got CG. The CG is a little better than like Berserk CG, but the CG isn't that great. But it's still a really good anime, I think. Like I said, the CG doesn't really take anything away from me personally. I think it's a really good anime. I think it's really cool, the concept it has, and I really like it. But that's about all I have to say about that. Love Live. Okay, the first Love Live is my favorite, and now I can really talk about this. I love Love Live. The characters are really cool. It's really cute. The first season, there was a really good twist where they ended up not having to drop out of Love Live, which I didn't expect at all. All of the songs are really good. I like a lot of the characters. Maki is like my favorite character ever. I am in love with Maki like so much. I love Maki. Maki is amazing, and I really like Love Live. And that's about it, I guess. Chunibyo is an amazing anime. That's all I have to say about that. It's so cute. Somehow it's so sad when Rika stops being Chunibyo. It's so crazy. Chunibyo is just a really, really good anime. That's all I can say about that. Watamote, yeah, that's what it's called. Watamote is a pretty good anime. It's a little strange, but I think I can relate to the main character sometimes about the social anxiety thing again is what I can really relate to. Mostly just that though, but I like this anime. I think it's pretty crazy sometimes, but I like Watamote. It's pretty good. I already said what I want to about Love Live. I already said what I want to about Chunibyo. Madoka Magica is an amazing anime. It's such a fantastic anime. This is the first movie. The first two movies are like recaps. And Madoka Magica is amazing. I'll talk more about it when we get to more of it. Kuroko no Basket is really fucking good. There's so many parts. It's like Haikyuu, where there's these hype moments where these characters are going on one against each other. There's a part at the end. Okay, so there's a part at the end. Okay, so there's these two people. But this one guy shows up and he's doing fucking crazy shit with the basketball. The way he's making these shots is insane. And he's just by far the best player we've ever seen. And there's this other character who we met at like the beginning. And the main character like beat him like within the first fucking couple episodes or some shit. And then this part at the end where this new guy who's insane and this guy who the main character meet at like the beginning is all fighting each other. And I'm just like, okay, this new guy's got this. He's gonna win easily. But then the fucking yellow-haired guy, I don't remember the names. But then he does this insane thing. He starts getting better. He's got this ability where he can like copy people's moves, and he's like, if I can copy him. And he starts getting better and better and better and closer to matching this other guy. And they just and by the end of it, they're going one-on-one against each other, like matching each other's moves and shit. And it's so fucking crazy. And I'm like, oh my god, he might actually win. And it's so good. It's so good. And that's just the part at the end. There's more parts like that throughout the whole thing where they pull out these crazy moves and shit. And it's really good. Kuroko no Basket is a pretty good show. It's pretty hype, yeah. Nisei Monogatari, that's just another Monogatari. I don't know which one this is, but it's pretty good, I'm sure. I gave it an 8, so this must have been a good one. Monogatari is kind of hard to follow. Lots of dialogue in Monogatari. As a non-Japanese speaker, I cannot... it's only subbed. It's hard to follow quite as well, probably. I hear there's a lot of, like, things in it that you can't really understand if you don't know Japanese. Still a pretty good show though. Another is a really good show. One of the few good like horror themed anime, and I really like Another quite a bit. It's a good show. Next is Nichijou. Nichijou is a really, really good slice of life anime. Nichijou is really good. Nichijou means like daily life, I'm pretty sure. And it's really good. It's a really funny show most of the time. And I really like Nichijou. Definitely a really good anime. Fate Zero is really good. This is like probably the best Fate, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But it's really good. A good animation, good. It's really good. It's just really good. I don't think I finished the second season of Fate Zero for whatever reason, but it's really good. Fate Zero is definitely a lot better than like Fate Stay Night, you know? Alright, Anohana is pretty good. Anohana is like... I think the best way to think of Anohana is like a worse Angel Beats. That's still really good, you know? Anohana is like... Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got this cool story, a really, really good opening, by the way. And it's a really good anime, but I think it's like a not quite as good Angel Beats, probably. Okay, next is the Madoka Magica anime, which again, Madoka Magica is amazing, and I'll talk more about it when we get to movie 3. Kizu Monogatari movie 1 is really good. I talked about that. Steins Gate is amazing, really fucking good. It's about this guy, they do stuff with time travel, and it's really good. Pantheon Stalking is really good. The art style is different than pretty much any other anime. It's got this one song in it that goes like, fly away now, whenever they like transform. And that song is really, really good. And the animation gets a bit better when they do that. And it's pretty funny. I think it's a really funny anime. There's this one episode where they fucking turn into Transformers and shit, and it's really funny. I think is the best way to do. It's a good anime, definitely. Katana Gatari is really good. It's about these two people, I don't remember the names, sadly, and they go to collect these like 12 swords. And this anime was released in 12 episodes, each episode about an hour long, over the course of a year. One episode a month. So each episode they get one sword of 12 swords, one episode a year for 12 months, one episode a month for 12 months for 1 year, which is really cool. That was your least like that. I think that's really cool just by itself. Also, the art style is amazing. The art style is really unique, really nice. I love the art style, the story, the characters. Katana Gatui is really good, and the ending is pretty good too. Casshun Sins is a really good anime. Casshun Sins is really cool. It's really about like these robots and these humans, and it's just a really cool story. I think it's got this kind of bleak atmosphere to it the whole time, and Casshun Sins is really good. I really like the opening. It's really good, I think. Lucky Star is a fucking classic. Lucky Star is like the slice of life anime, man. Lucky Star is amazing and I love it. It's cute. It's really good. Lucky Star is great. Bakurano is this really good anime about these like I think it was like 15 kids and they have to pilot this robot to defeat these other robots, and there's lots of twists along the way. But some of them end up dying and stuff, and it's a pretty cool, good anime, good opening as well. Code Geass is one of the best endings to an anime ever of all time. One of the best endings to pretty much anything ever of all time, honestly. And it's really good. Mostly the ending is the best part, but other than that, it's also really good. I like Code Geass a lot. Okay, Dragon Ball episode of Bardock, I'm pretty sure is what this is. And it's really good. I really liked learning about Bardock. I thought it was really cool seeing that whole thing. And that's all there is to say about that. Next is, okay, this one is the history of Trunks. And this is a really good, like, special they did. It's like a movie, whatever. It's really good. But because shows Trunks and Gohan. And so the androids destroying the planet. It's a much darker atmosphere a lot of the time. And when Gohan dies and Trunks goes Super Saiyan like that, like that's such a good moment. That is just such a really good moment. It's really good. I think that's a really good movie. Next is Wrath of the Dragon. This is the movie with Hirudegarn, and I really like this movie because Super Saiyan 3 gets a lot of spotlight here, and I really like Super Saiyan 3 is really cool. I think it's a cool movie. Tapion's pretty cool. He looks exactly the same as Chrono from Chrono Trigger, and it's a good movie. I like it. Next is the BoJack movie, and this movie was really cool because Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 again, and I mean Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is one of the most hyped moments in all of anime. So, of course, it's really cool. Next is the Super 14 movie. I'm biased to Dragon Ball, so that's why these are all like an 8, probably, most of them. But yeah, the Super 14 movie, it's really cool. Gohaku absorbs the Spirit Bomb and does crazy stuff. Yeah, a Super Saiyan bargain cell. It's great. Okay, now the Cooler movie, the first Cooler movie is actually really good. Cooler is such a good villain. Like Cooler's final form has one of the best designs I've ever seen. I don't know if I've said this, but I'm like an artist, somewhat of an artist, I guess. I draw a lot, and I draw Cooler all the time just because of how much I love his design. Cooler's final form design is amazing, and he's such a cool villain, I really like this movie, and Cooler is just fantastic. It's mostly because of how cool Cooler is and how cool his design is. But this is such a great movie because Cooler is just so great, Next is normal Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z, I mean, it's Dragon Ball Z. Like I said earlier, some people have a stigma against mainstream anime just because they're mainstream, really. They think because a lot of people like it, you're not supposed to like it or something. I feel like, but it's really good. I mean, this is pretty much my first anime, other than maybe like Yu-Gi-Oh. But Dragon Ball is what I started with, and it's really good. It's got so many great things in it, Like, it's original Dragon Ball. Like, I remember watching it the first time. Like, I was in, like, middle school or high school or something. The first time I was watching it, yeah, it was in middle school, yeah, definitely. And I remember watching like the Frieza arc with Piccolo, and I remember thinking in my head, oh my god, what's Piccolo gonna do next? Is he gonna be able to beat Frieza? Oh my god. And all this crazy stuff. And it's very nostalgic, it's memories, it's great. I love it, it's really good. Uh, I don't know what else to say. It's just so many things about it is just very dear to my heart. And yeah, like I said earlier, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus Cell is one of the most hype moments in all of anime, for sure. And it's pretty fantastic. So this anime is amazing, and I'll always love it. So let's keep going. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. I love Duel Monsters. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. The first Yu-Gi-Oh! Is by far the best one and by far my favorite one. Tim Yami Yugi is. I love him. He's such a cool character. This anime obviously has mountains of problems with it. It's obviously. I mean, it's kind of like so bad it's good. It's most of the time I feel like, but Yami Yugi is such a good character. I really love him. Like, he just. How can you. He's like OP at card games, and it's so cool. I don't know what else to say. I love it. Did I put Dark Side of Dimensions on here? Let me make sure I put I watched Dark Side of Dimensions. I don't know if I put it on here. I don't remember when I watched it now. Well, is that enough? Oh, I didn't add it. Okay. I'll give it like an 8 or a 9. I'll give it an 8. I don't remember when I watched it, so I'll guess like... It wasn't too long ago. I'll guess it was like... December or something. I'll just put it as like December of last year. So Duel Monsters is really good, and I really enjoy it. And I watched a lot of it when I was really young, so I've got like nostalgia and biased, obviously, but it's really good. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Dark Side of Dimensions. Dark Side of Dimensions was really cool, and I really liked it. Kaiba is such an amazing character. I love Kaiba. I love Kaiba's character. Honestly, he's amazing. He's one of the best parts of Duel Monsters. Like, even without Yami Yugi, Kaiba is so good, And that's why GX isn't as good. It doesn't have any characters anywhere near as good as, like... Well, I mean, it's got, like... Yeah, Zane. Yeah, it's got Zane. Zane is pretty cool, I guess. But he's no Kaiba, And there's no one on the level of Yami Yugi, There just isn't. And Dark Side of Dimensions is really good. Kaiba tries to resurrect the Pharaoh, and it's just, I love it. Seeing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters themed movie after like how many years it's been since the first one is so amazing. And I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, Mushishi is a really good anime. This guy goes around and solves people's problems of these spirit thingy majigos, and it's really good. GT, I love GT. Super Saiyan 4 has an amazing design. GT definitely has problems, but it's amazing, and I love it, and that's all there is to it. Initiative second stage, Initiative is really good music. Initiative first stage, Initiative is really good and it's really good music. Akira is an amazing movie that fucking traumatized me when I first watched it. That scene at the end literally basically traumatized me, and it's an amazing movie and it's a classic. That's all there is to it. Naruto is really good. I'll wait till I get to Shippuden to talk more about that. Star Wars Visions. Star Wars Visions is amazing. It's got 9 episodes, and each episode is made by a different anime studio, and the episodes definitely differ greatly in quality, but every episode is good, definitely. The best episodes are episode 1, and the other episode was episode 1, and the 2 Trigger episodes are the best episodes. Episode 1 was about this, like, samurai Jedi that comes to this town, and the whole episode was mostly in black and white with, like, some colors, and it was so good. It was so good. It's so amazing. And then the other Trigo episode, which is one of the Trigo episodes, which is basically just a classic Trigo anime where they beat the bad guy with some crazy nonsense by using a super lightsaber that they did going into hyperdrive and cutting the fucking ship in half with it. Fucking crazy Trigo nonsense. I loved it. And then the last Trigo episode was one of the best things I've ever fucking seen. Like, it was just so good. It was just so well done. It was like I don't even know. It's so hard to explain. This Jedi and his apprentice go to this planet and find this old, like, Sith Lord, and it's just so well animated, so insanely well animated. So is the first episode, but it's so insanely well animated, so insanely well done, and it's just amazing. Every single episode is actually really good, but they're all completely different stories made by completely different people, and they're all really good. And those 3 episodes are my favorite. Komi-san is amazing. I recently watched it, and it's an amazing anime. Oh, look, we're getting into 9s now, but Komi-san is so good. I relate to it so much. Like, the main character, I relate to it a lot. I talked very little in school. I talked as little as I had to. As little as I possibly could for almost my entirety of my school life. So I relate so heavily to fucking Komi. You don't even believe how fucking relatable this anime is to me, and it's such a good anime. It's really good. I mean, that's all I can say about it. It's also really funny sometimes how fucking much the students like idolize Komi, and they basically make her a god. It's really funny sometimes. I really like Komi-san. Next is the Mugen Train movie for Demon Slayer. It was amazing. The movie is amazing. The animation is next level. The fight between Rengoku and that, the Upper Six Demon is so amazing. The song, everything about it, it's really good. And that's all there is. Attack on Titan, the final season. So I'm currently watching season 2 of this, obviously, this part 2, and it's amazing. The first season was fucking phenomenal, but season 2 is even better. Unless season 2 has some fucks ups at some point, I'm giving it a 10. Because season 2, part 2 of the final season is so good. The final season of Attack on Titan is so good. I can't even explain. It's just so good. The story, the twists, the tones, everything is so good. And I've been watching Attack on Titan since it first fucking started for season 1, and it feels all these fucking things are paying off now, and it's so good. I can't believe it. This is probably the 5th plate. No, the 4th plate, okay. So, is this the final season? I thought the 5th plate was the one that... maybe this is the last one I watched. But either way, I'll go ahead and talk about it. Food Wars is so damn good. In that final fucking episode, Soma and fucking, whatever her name was, I don't remember names a lot of time, but Soma and the other character there, they were having a food battle, a food war with these 2 fucking characters who have been hyped up this whole time. Soma's goal is to become the first seat of the council. And this is spoilers, by the way. And they're having a food war with them. And it's amazing. And so they make this meal, and it's just so hype. Somehow Food Wars is just so good at making these food that they make so hype when they explain how they made it and everything they put into it. And then they work together to make this dish. Alright, the first scene, okay, this guy was hyped up for so long to be an amazing cook, and they make this food for them, and it's like, okay, yeah, that was amazing, that's the best food I've ever fucking had. And then Soma and Ho comes in, and they make this fucking dish, and it's like, there's no way they can win. But then it's like, oh, but there's this secret, and oh my god. And then the judge is like this evil, the antagonist. And he's like, this is the best thing I've ever had, but I won't say it's better than the other one. I won't let you win. But then it's like, this huge thing happens, and it's like, he has to be like, say how good it is. He can't deny it anymore. And then doing this, it starts playing the opening. It doesn't just play the opening, it plays the first opening, the opening from the first season, and it's the most hype fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I liked that first opening so much more after seeing that scene. And it was amazing. That whole scene where Soma wins, he becomes the first seat on the council, and he achieves his fucking goal that he had this entire anime. It's amazing. I love it so fucking much, dude. That last food battle, that last food war was amazing. And I love it so much. And that's why I don't want to watch the last season, because I heard it's bad. And that was such a good conclusion at the end there that I don't want to ruin that for me. And that's it. I love Food Wars, and it's amazing. JoJo Part 5, I love JoJo Part 5. Giorno is really good, everything about it is really good, the opening is really good, everything about it is amazing, and that's all I have to say. Here we go, Bloom Into You. Yagate Kimi ni Naru, Bloom Into You, okay? This is what everything Citrus fucking wishes it was. Bloom Into You is amazing. I love Bloom Into You. I literally fucking cried at 1 or 2 occasions when watching this because it was just so fucking emotional. Dude, it's so good. Okay, so there's this girl and this other girl, and okay, so she's all like, oh, I can't love people. I've never loved anyone. I just don't have these emotions for people. But then this other girl is like, oh, I'm in the same boat. We're the same way. But then this fucking girl, she falls in love with her. And then it's like, oh, okay. So then it's like, yeah, she falls in love with her. And then, but the first one, okay, their names are Toga and Yu. Okay, Toga falls in love with Yu. And then, but Yu still doesn't love Toga. She still doesn't have any feelings for anyone, like she said before. And then, but they still like, yeah, Toga loves Yu. But then eventually at one part, there's this scene, this really, really well done scene, where Yu realizes that she basically falls in love with Toga as well. And it has this amazing scene where she's watching Toga, and it goes into slow motion, and it plays this amazing song, by the way, which I love a lot, called Sunrise. And I love that song. And it zooms in, and she flashes back to all these memories, and she sees her running there, and basically that's the point where she falls in love with her as well. And then later, there's a part where Toga is talking about how she can't possibly love her if she loves her because she hates herself, and she can't love someone who loves her because she hates who she is. And it turns out she's been trying to like live up to her sister and shit. And then later on, there's a moment where she's reading like a script for the play that they're going to do, and she gets really into it because it's basically this. What she's saying is the same thing that she's going through, and she gets so into it and emotional about it. And the 2 times where I cried at the moment where fucking Yu fell in love with Toga, and I cried at the moment where she was reading that fucking script because it was so fucking emotional. I love Bloom Into You so goddamn much. I think it's amazing. And that's about it. I could honestly give this a 10 if I wanted to, but I love it. It's amazing. And I actually remember both their fucking names because of how much I fucking love this shit. Okay, well, let's keep going. Alright, so Overload is amazing, like I said. Made in Abyss movie 2, amazing. Better than the first movie. Kellen Tuesday is an amazing anime. The music in it is so good. So, this is the one and only time fucking ever where watching the dub is, like, just objectively better than watching the sub, because the music is actually almost every song is in English except for one or two which is in like French and like Russian or something was the one other one. And because all the songs are in English, it's actually a lot better to watch it in English, because it's you don't have that weird disconnect from them switching languages like that. And the music is all amazing. The story is really good. The final song they sing when all these fucking characters start showing up to sing with them, who you've met throughout the whole anime, it's so good. And it's just a really good ending, a really good anime, really good music. Like I said, I'm such a sucker for music, and all the music in this is so good. Carole & Tuesday is amazing. Made in Abyss movie free. Made in Abyss movie free. The movie where they actually continued the story is so fucking good. This movie is amazing. The animation is amazing. The story is amazing. Everything that happens in it is amazing. Fucking Bone Druid, this fucking villain. He's such an intimidating villain, dude. And everything about it is amazing. There's so much, like, shock in it. But that fucking... Okay, spoilers here, but Reg gets his fucking arm cut off. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? Bone Druid is such a, like, serious character. He's like... He doesn't have like any sympathy. Everything with him, it's all about fucking this like research, study, results, and all this shit. He doesn't have any fucking emotions, pretty much. He kills his own fucking daughter because he wants to advance his fucking research or whatever. He fucking raised this girl as his daughter and developed an emotional bond to him just because that would benefit this thing he wanted to do later. Bone Druid is an amazing character. Everything about this movie is fucking fantastic. Oh my god. Okay. One thing I didn't mention about Made in Abyss is that the contrast between how serious and dark the anime gets and how cute the art style is. You think how cute you think the art style is when you first start watching it, and the contrast of how dark the anime gets. That's amazing as well. I wanted to say that. Okay, fuck. Next is the Made in Abyss anime, which, again, it's amazing. Inuyashiki is a really good anime, made by the same people who made Gantz, but I like this anime 100 times more than Gantz. Inuyashiki is really good. It's this story about this guy becomes a robot, and it's really, really good. Okay, so two people, him and this teenager become a robot, this old man and this teenager. The old man decides that he wants to try to save people with these new powers, but the teenager, he starts killing people, basically just because he's bored. And there's this one part in it where the teenager, he decides that, you know what, I'll change, I won't kill people and I'll start helping people again. But the moment after that scene where he says that, these fucking FBI people break in, kill his fucking, like, his girlfriend's, like, grandma, and basically completely ruin everything. Right after he decided to change his ways, everything fucking fucks him over immediately, and he gets all these consequences for all these people he killed, and it's kind of amazing, honestly. And then he just... And then there's this huge scene at the end where they both sacrifice themselves. It's an amazing anime, and a really good opening. One Punch Man is amazing, and the second season is just as good as the first one. The animation is a little worse than the first season, but that is not enough because it's still amazing. One Punch Man is fantastic. Everything about it is just amazing. The music, the opening is so fucking good. The first season opening is like a classic at this point. Everything about it is just amazing. This guy, he just fucking punches, shots, everything. It's amazing. It's just amazing. The second season is more focused on like character building than the first, and I think that's why some people don't like it as much, but I still love it. It's so good. And I hope we can get more, because it's amazing. Gabriel Dropout. I love Gabriel Dropout. This is such a good slice of life anime. It's funny. This angel gets sent down to Earth to fucking learn about humans, but then she's like the perfect angel, but then she finds video games and she becomes like the worst angel ever, and there's this devil Her name is Gabrielle, and then there's like Tenma and all these other characters, and it's amazing, and I love it. It's so cute, it's so funny sometimes. I love Gabriel Dropout, an amazing opening as well. Gabriel Dropout is such a good slice of life. I love Gabriel Dropout. My Hero Academia second season. This is the one, I'm pretty sure this is the one where, you know, the one with All Might, where he, like, finishes off, All for One, and he loses his powers, and that's really good. One of the best moments. Another one of the best moments in, My Hero Academia is All Might versus All for One, and, Mirio versus whoever the fuck, and All Might versus the Nomu. Those are like some of the best moments in My Hero Academia, and they're all amazing. Like, All Might versus the Nomu is so cool. Like just the animation, them trading the blows like that. It's really, like, All Might coming in to save the day like that. I love it. It's really good. Endeavor versus that Nomu was pretty good as well. My Hero Academia has some really good high points in it, you know? Really hype moments. Kobayashi Dragon Maid. I love Kobayashi Dragon Maid. Toru and Kobayashi's relationship is amazing. Kobayashi is my favorite character. I love the way she's just like so chill about everything, but she really seems like I agree with like everything she fucking says. Toru and Kobayashi's relationship is so fucking cute sometimes. There's some moments in the manga that between Toru and Kobayashi that is just amazing. I fucking blew my mind some moments that happened in the manga, honestly, and I love it. Kana as well. Kana is one of the cutest characters in all of anime. I love Kobayashi and Dragon Maid. Fafnir and fucking what's his name? I don't even remember. Fucking that guy's relationship is also really fucking good, dude. Dude, it's so good. I love Kobayashi Dragon Maid. The opening again is really fucking good. I love it. Oh my god. Okay, Yojo Senkai is a really good anime. I love how the main character there. I love how she is like this like evil fucking little girl, and she fucking killing people and shit against God and all that. I think that's really cool. I like that premise. I think it's cool. There's this moment in it where like this one soldier was like, "Fuck you, you're just a little girl. You can't boss me around." So then she fucking like beats his ass or some shit. I was like, yeah, fuck that guy, and I like it. My Hero Academia Season 1, I already said about it. It's really cool moments. Part 4 of JoJo's, my favorite part of JoJo's, is so good. Kira is such a good villain. Killer Queen is such a good stand. Josuke is such a good protagonist. I love it, and it's amazing. It has some low points in the middle, but once Kira shows up and we get to that main stuff, it's so fucking good. I love it. One Punch Man, I already talked about. Koe no Katachi, Silent Voice. An amazing fucking movie. The fucking moment the movie starts, it starts off with this guy about to kill himself, and already you're like, what the fuck? And then like this girl, he meets this girl he bullied when he was a kid, when they were both kids, and fucking it was such an emotional fucking movie where he grows up, he fucking regrets what he did, he becomes fucking like he has this like, he doesn't like looking at people's faces and stuff. Oh, it's such a good movie. It's such a fucking good movie. I love A Silent Voice. It's really fucking good. Anyway, JoJo Part 3 second season. Such a good part, dude. Jotaro versus Dio is one of the best fights in all of fucking anime, dude. It's so iconic. I swear to God, Jotaro versus Dio is amazing. And I cannot stress enough how good it is. I love it. At one point, I memorized most of the script for like Jotaro and Dio talking with each other about the meme shit. It became such a meme because of how fucking good it is, and I love it. Dragon Ball movie, for Resurrection F. Really good movie. I think personally, animation is amazing. I think it's really good. I'm really biased towards it because when it first came out, it's like after Battle of Gods, which Battle of Gods is better than Resurrection F, but Battle of Gods came out and then this movie came out. It's like, oh my god, new Dragon Ball, this is amazing. And I think it's a really good movie. Golden Frieza is really cool. It's cool to see Frieza beating ass for a little bit. Then he fucking gets, he gets weaker. I wish Vegeta could have finished off Frieza. That would have been cooler. I think probably. It's a pretty good movie. Fairy Tail 2014. I fucking love Fairy Tail 2014. The part with the fucking twin dragon, the fucking whatever their names were. What were their names again? I knew their names at one point. I forgot their names. The twin dragons, the Shadow and fucking Light Dragon. The part where Natsu and Gajia are fighting them, and then they're like, "Hey, we're losing, Gajia. How about we beat their ass?" And then they just turn on like their super power modes, and then they just fucking beat their ass because it's like this whole time the fucking Saber-Tooth Guild was all like, "You Fairy Tail guilds fucking suck. We're so much better than you, and these guys are fucking assholes." And then they're fighting them, and then like Natsu and Gajia are losing. But then they're like, hey, let's get serious. And then they fucking beat their ass. And it's so fucking satisfying. And then there's the part where fucking... Hold on. Ah, fuck. I gotta look up this. Fucking... Fairy Tail Shadow Dragon name. No, that's the dragon. What's the guy's name? Rogue, there he is. His name is Rogue, that's right. Okay, so Gajio, there's the part where Gajio is fighting Rogue, and he's losing. But then Gajio fucking eats Rogue's shadows, and he goes into the Shadow Steel Dragon mode, or whatever the fuck it's called, and he fucking, that moment where he turns the tables on Rogue, which was future Rogue, by the way, which was like in Rogue's body, whatever. And it's so amazing. That part is so good. I love that part so much. And also, the opening, the Grand Magic Games opening, that part, the opening is called Strike by Strike Back. That is my favorite anime opening. That is at least one of my favorite anime openings ever. I love that opening so fucking much. It is amazing. Yeah, those are like the most hype parts. Oh, and then there's the part where they go through this huge thing. There's this tower full of enemies, and they go through the like fucking 10 minutes of explaining like, okay, there's this tower full of enemies. The enemies get stronger as you go, and you can fight as many enemies as you want, but they're going to get stronger. But the stronger the enemies are, the more you kill, the more points you'll get. So we're going to go through each person here and ask how many enemies they would like to fight. And it's got like 100 enemies in there, and they get super powerful the more they go. And then it's like, oh, it looks like you're first, Oza. How many enemies would you like to fight? She walks up there and she's like, I'll fight all 100 at once. And then the moment she fucking said that, I lost my fucking mind. That blew my mind. That was crazy, like, because they went through like 10 minutes explaining how this works and how it is, so it's like, okay, so we're gonna go through all these, because Fairy Tail, the whole time in this tournament, Fairy Tail was like behind, and so you need to watch like the whole thing to really get like all the feeling behind this. But then Elsa comes up and she's like, I'll fight all 100 at once, and it's like this huge music, like duh duh duh, and it's like, what the fuck? And then she goes and she beats all fucking 100 at once, and then she basically single-handedly fucking saves Fairy Tail, the tournament, pretty much. And then the moment at the end where fucking Fairy Tail wins the battle against, like, Sting. His name was Sting. And then he's the last one left. And then Fairy Tail wins with all 5 members left. It's so satisfying. It's so, so satisfying. And I love it so, so much. The Grand Magic Games arc is amazing. And I love it. Okay, I can move on now. No Game No Life is an amazing anime with a little bit of fan service, an amazing art style, really well done, and I like it a lot, and we're never getting a second season. Kill la Kill is a Studio Trigger anime, and it's amazing. The openings are good, the story's good, really cool action, good animation. Everything about it is amazing. It's classic Studio Trigger stuff. I fucking love it. Satsuki is such a cool character. I love this fucking anime. First season of Attack on Titan, really fucking good. When fucking Eren we all thought Eren. I thought Eren died in like the third episode. Fucking, can you believe that, dude? I thought they killed off the main character. Like, the first season of Attack on Titan was so fucking hype. Everyone remembers how hype that shit was, dude. It was amazing. Attack on Titan is such a good anime, and the last season is like the best one yet. Dragon Ball Battle of Gods. Amazing! The Battle of Gods movie is so fucking good. The first new Dragon Ball fucking content in like 10 fucking years, and it's fucking amazing, dude. If you don't count like Goku and his friends return, then it's even longer than that. And it's so fucking good. The hypest part ever, dude. When Goku and Beerus are fighting in the sky, and like they're fighting on the ground, and Goku loses Super Saiyan God, but then he's like, I will not let you destroy my world, and he goes Super Saiyan, and that song ties up. Hero. The song is called Hero by Flow, and that song is so good. I've listened to that song so many times, and that song is amazing. That scene where Goku and Beerus are fighting in the sky while that song plays is one of my favorite scenes of anything fucking ever. It's so hype. It's so amazing. I love that scene so much. And also, Beerus is such a good character. His voice acting is done so well. Every time he's on screen in that movie is fantastic. It's so good. The movie is so good, so well done, and that fight between Goku and Beerus is the most hype thing ever. I can't believe how good it is. Okay, now, JoJo Part 1, really fucking good. This has Part 2 and Part 1 in it. Part 1 is like an 8, I guess. Part 1 is really good, but not nearly as good as Part 2. Part 2 is really fucking good. Joseph is one of the best JoJos. They don't even have, like, Part 2 is just as good as, like, Part 3, and it doesn't even have stands yet. Like, just with Hamon against the fucking Pillow Man, and it's Part 2 is amazing. I love it so much. Like, Joseph is such a good character. He's like so like goofy all the time. Like, I love Part 2 so much. This is mostly Part 2, why it's a 9. But I fucking love it. And Part 1 is really good too. We get to, like, this is, looking back at Part 1, it's like so nostalgic now, you know? This is when Dio is like in pretty much every part at this point. And this is when he first shows up in all this. It's really good. It's really cool seeing it all, the beginning, you know? It's just really fucking good. Okay, Madoka Magica Movie 2, this is just the second movie, a recap of the show. Not much to say about it. It's really fucking good. Hunter x Hunter 2011. Finally, I can talk about Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is so fucking good, okay? The characters are amazing, and I love it. There's so many hype moments in it, and it's just really well done. And now I get to talk about my favorite character in all of fiction, who is Meruem. The king of the Chimera Ants, Meruem, is my literal favorite character in all of fucking fiction. My favorite villain, my favorite antagonist, my favorite anything. Meruem is amazing. He first shows up, he fucking kills this guy. Every time Meruem is on screen, the entire atmosphere is different. When he's on screen, it's just amazing. They do it so fucking well. Meruem just commands just aura of respect wherever he fucking goes. He's just such a good character, and the way he changes from being like this ant, this monster, and to by the end of it where he becomes more human. And he doesn't even want to like destroy the world anymore, whatever the fuck he wanted to do, take it over, you know? And he changes by the end of it, and it's amazing. And he doesn't even want to fight Netero, he just wants to talk. But Netero is the one who wants to fight. But he's supposed to be the, you know, Netero is supposed to be the protagonist, but he's the one who wants to fight. Meruem just wants to talk. It's amazing. I love Hunter x Hunter so much. Mostly though, I fucking love Meruem. The Chimera Ant arc is so good. There are so many other things I could talk about too. Well, fucking Neferpitou kills Kite. Like, that was amazing. Well, fucking Neferpitou fucking flies in, cuts Kite's arm off, fucking Killua and Gon have to run out of there, and then fucking the next time you see Neferpitou, he fucking has Kite's head in her fucking lap. Like, it's so fucking cool, dude. The Chimera Ant arc is like peak goddamn fiction, I'm telling you. Okay, Red Line. Red Line is an amazing movie about a race called the Red Line. And the race is just so hype, it's like trigger level shit at the end. Well, they fucking self-destruct a bomb to get a little extra speed to win and shit. There's just so much crazy stuff happens in Red Line. Red Line is an amazing movie, amazing animation, everything about it is amazing. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is an amazing show. Amazing animation, amazing character writing, amazing everything, pretty much. It's really good. The story, everything about it is fantastic. The only problem I have with Full Metal Alchemist is that it's a little overhyped. You see most people talking about Brotherhood, and they're always like, it's the best anime ever made, which it is fantastic. It is very, very good, and a must-watch for sure. But I do not think it's the best anime ever. I don't think anyone can say what the best anime is, okay? But I don't think it's the best, but it is pretty fucking good. Code Geass Season 2 is amazing. One of the best endings in anything ever, and everything about Code Geass is really good, and I won't spoil it, you need to watch it. Naruto Shippuden, I love Naruto Shippuden. Pain arc is so good. Gaara is my favorite character. Meruem is my favorite character ever. Gaara is my second favorite character ever. And I love Gaara so much. I love Nagato, I love Minato. These characters, it's so cool. There are so many cool story things in Naruto. The fights are so good. And I love it. It's really fucking good, some of the stuff. Like, towards the end it falls off a bit with Kaguya, but everything before that I honestly really fucking enjoy. The openings are so good, and Silhouette is like actually the best opening ever, by the way. That moment where like Minato is fighting Madara, who's actually Obito, and that moment where he throws the kunai through his head, teleports behind him, and does the Rasengan down into the ground on him is one of the best moments I've ever seen. That's up there with like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan shit, man. That moment was so fucking good. I love it so much. Ah, my god. It's really fucking good. Death Note is amazing. It's not nearly as good after L dies, but it's so good. L is an amazing character. I love Death Note so much. Dragon Ball Z Resurrection Reborn. Resurrection Reborn is so fucking good. Janemba's design is even better than Kulo's design. Janemba's fucking Super Janemba's design is amazing. Dude, I draw him even more than I draw Kulo, because Super Janemba's design, I love his design so much. And Gogeta, this is the when Gogeta showed up, dude. You know how fucking hype Gogeta is as a character. Before the fucking Broly movie, this is the only time Gogeta ever showed up, and he was so hype. He's on screen for like 1 minute or some shit, and he's the most hyped character in all of Dragon Ball. Because he shows up, he fucking kicks Janemba's ass and kills him in like 5 seconds. And it's amazing. And we get some cool Super Saiyan 3 moments. Super Saiyan 3 theme is really cool. There's so much cool shit about this movie. And Gogeta is amazing in this goddamn movie. Oh my god. Every force has an echo. Your own bad doing, your own evil will be your undoing. Whatever the fuck Gogeta says. He's amazing! Dude, it's so fucking good. I love Fusion Reborn is my favorite Dragon Ball movie other than Broly. Okay. Movie 8. I don't even know which movie this is. Oh fuck, what? Oh, the legendary. Oh, the Broly movie. Oh, yeah, baby. The fucking first Broly movie is very, very good. When Broly the first Broly movie is amazing. Broly is so hype in that movie. He's just so powerful. He's so much stronger than everyone else. And it's just so, like the first. This was one of the. I think this was probably one of the first Dragon Ball movies I watched, and it's just so amazing. Like I don't know, Broly. The new Broly is so much better, but I have so much like nostalgia for what this movie. I think it's like, I don't know. I love the first Broly movie, and it's really fucking good. Now we get into the 10-star shit, and this is where things get real. Dragon Ball Super Broly is one of the best anime movies I've ever watched. The animation is so good. The animation is on another fucking level. The story is so good. Broly's new story about him being abused by his father and shit is so good. It's so funny that the reason Frieza comes to Earth is to increase his height by like 2 inches or some shit. I love that. The fucking music is so good. Blizzard is such a good song. The Broly song where it goes like, come on, Broly, you know, Gogeta, all that is so good. The fucking fight is amazing. The animation, like I said, is amazing. Gogeta's fight versus Broly is one of the greatest fights in all of anime. This movie is fantastic, and this is the best thing to ever come out of Dragon Ball ever. This movie is so good. I've watched this movie so many times, and I love Dragon Ball Super Broly so much. It is on another level, okay? Oh my fucking god. Next is Promare, which is basically Gurren Lagann as a movie. Promare is so good. The music is so good. The animation is so good. The story is so good. Gallo is the main character, and he's in this fire force, and the movie starts out playing the song Inferno, and it's amazing. And then you meet fucking Leo, and it turns out that the Bonish have been like wrongfully discriminated against, and the Mad Bonish were good people all along, and then the fucking villain, what was his, hold on, I can remember his name. Cray Forsyth was cool. He has this soft, I watched the dub and the sub. The sub is better, for Cray Forsyth at least. Cray Forsyth in the sub has this like soft voice this whole time, but then he becomes a villain and his voice changes, and there's this huge fucking epic mech fight and all this crazy shit, and then the ending where they play Inferno again as they fucking burn the whole earth in order to like fix the problem with the lava and shit. It's so good. I've watched that scene so many times. I love it so much. Like, it's so fucking good. Promare is amazing. And the music is so good. Oh my god. Alright, okay. So, next is a bit of an odd one, I guess. This is Shelter, which is a music video that I watched a very long time ago on like YouTube, and it's so good. I am personally a huge fan of like telling a story without any words, you know? And that's what this music video does. It has this really good, the song is really good, and the music video, it tells this story through just the visuals, really. Like, and it's a really cool and like emotional story, and it doesn't have to say like a single fucking word to convey it to you. And I think that is amazing. I love shit like that when people are able to do it right, you know? And that's what this does, and I love it, you know? It's this girl, the planet fucking exploded or some shit, and she was sent to space by her father or brother, whoever, that, you know, it's crazy. I love it. Kimi no Na wa is a goddamn amazing movie. Some of the best music in fucking this shit. The music is so good. It's the music is on another goddamn level. Okay, Kimi no Na wa is so good. The story, I love it so much. I've watched it many times, subbed and dubbed, and it's just so goddamn good. The sub is better because the Japanese version of the songs are better because they were made for Japanese, and making them into English is well quite alright. But I like the music better in Japanese. But it's really fucking good. I love Kimi no Na wa so much. It's so goddamn emotional. Okay, Milka Magica Movie 3 is amazing. This movie has like 3 big twists in it, and each fucking twist is more crazy than the goddamn last one. The twist at the end blew my fucking mind. Okay, I could not comprehend what was happening. This movie starts off, okay, you watch the anime and then you watch this movie, all right? And you start off the anime and you're like, what's happening here? Why these I thought these characters died. What's going on? And then it's like slowly the anime doesn't explain, the movie doesn't explain what's happening at all at the beginning, you know? But slowly as you keep watching, you slowly start to understand what's happening. And then eventually it gets explained, and then there's a twist and another twist and another twist. And it's fucking insane. This movie is amazing. Amazing animation, amazing story, really fucking well done. I love Madoka Magica Movie 3 Rebellion so much. It's so good. And fantastic movie. The like magical gold transformations they do like at the beginning too are so fucking good. Like it's too good, dude. I can't believe it, how good it is. Okay, next is Snow Halation, which is just a Love Live song. I mean, it's just a really good song. I don't know. It doesn't even really belong on this list, but whatever. Angel Beats. Angel Beats is amazing. The opening is amazing. The ending is amazing. The ED is amazing. The actual ending of the show is amazing. The OP, whatever. Anyone who watches this anime, I always recommend highly to watch the opening and ending every single time, because the opening changes almost every episode. The ending changes almost every episode, and it's fantastic. And watching the ending every episode, and then watching the ending of the last episode, is so crazy. I'm going to spoil some things for this, because I really want to talk about this. I love Angel Beats. So there was that, like the third episode where the opening changed, like Yui sung the opening instead, and I love that. And like I said, the opening changes almost every episode as new characters like leave or show up, you know? And the ending, okay. So the story of this anime is that everyone here has died, and they're in like they're going to go to the afterlife, but they're like in like a limbo before the afterlife. So like the ending of the anime starts out with no one on screen, and like Yuri is the only one on screen, and slowly one by one the characters appear on screen, all the characters who are there. But as characters disappear, so what happens is they're in this limbo, but when they accept that they want to move on, when they become happy with themselves and they're ready to move on, they disappear and move on to like the afterlife, assumingly at least. And like as the characters do that and disappear, every time a character disappears, it's incredibly sad. And every time one disappears, they're not in the ending anymore, you know? So which is why I think watching the ending is such a important thing. And then but then the saddest one by far, they're all so sad when someone disappears, honestly, but the saddest one by far, one of the best parts, probably the best part of the whole anime, maybe, is when Yui disappears. Yui and Hinata will have this relationship the whole anime where they were like bothering each other, like that, that kind of thing. But then, like, there was this thing where the main character, Otonashi, I think his name was, trying to get these characters to move on because they've been staying here because they didn't want to leave this limbo. But he's trying to get them to move on, so he tries to get Yui to move on. So he does all the stuff that she wanted to do in life so she could move on. But one thing she wanted to do was, she wanted someone to like love her, And then she asked like who, like it's been a while since I've seen it, but it was like she was like, who. Like she said something like, who would love me? But then Hinata shows up and he said like, I would, or something like that. And then he's like, but how would we possibly meet when we were alive? Because it turns out she was like, she had like a disease when she was alive and she like couldn't walk. And then it's like, well, maybe one day I'd throw a ball. He was a baseball player. It's like, well, maybe one day I'd hit a ball and it'd fly through your window and I have to show up and apologize. And it does this whole scene where it plays like these images pretty much as he's telling this, and then it plays this song. The song is called Ichiban no Takara Mono, and I love that song. Every time I hear that song from that scene, I get emotional. Every time I hear just that fucking song, it sends chills down my goddamn spine, because that scene is so emotional and so amazing. And then it goes through this whole song as it plays this like slideshow of them, what they would be like if they had met when they were alive, and it's so emotional and so fucking amazing, and like, it's on another fucking level, honestly. It is fantastic. And then after all this slideshow and after this song, this incredibly emotional song, Yui finally disappears because she's finally happy. Hinata doesn't disappear though, because he says he still has stuff he needs to do. But it's so amazing, and just talking about it right now I'm getting fucking chills because of how much I love it. It's so amazing. And that's not it, that's not the only part. The first person to disappear was this person who played the guitar. I don't remember her name, and like, it was really sad when she disappeared too. And I think the voice acting in this was amazing, by the way. I watched the dub and I think the voice acting was really good. And then there's the ending where fucking Otonashi and Kanade are the only ones left, and they decide maybe they should just stay there. But then fucking Kanade says that wouldn't be the good, that she doesn't want to do that. And it turned out there was this whole story about how Otonashi died, how he died in a train accident, but he donated like his heart. It turned out like his heart went to Kanade, and then it's like, and then it's fucking like, Tanashi's like, why don't we just stay here? But the Kanade says we shouldn't, and then they hug each other. Then Kanade disappears, and Tanashi's left there all by himself. And then what happens after the Kanade disappears, and Tanashi's just like left there by himself. He kind of like, it's so amazing and so emotional and so sad. And then after the last episode, when it goes to the ending plays. But instead of each character showing up one by one, the ending starts off with every character on screen, and slowly, one by one, each character disappears in the order that they disappeared in the show as well. And watching that ending, after seeing that fucking scene with Kanade disappearing, is one of the saddest things ever. Like, watching them each disappear one by one until Otonashi is the only one left, and then finally he disappears as well. It's so sad, it's so well done, and it's so amazing. I can't believe how amazing Angel Beats is. I love Angel Beats so goddamn much. It is fantastic. Well, we're finally on to my favorite anime of all time, Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann is amazing. The first Studio Trigger anime I watched, and it's fantastic. That used to be Studio Gainax, but whatever. And like, so what happened is this anime is Simon the Digger. He finds a key, and then he also finds a big head. And it turns out that that this whole story starts, and then there's Kamina, and they're brothers, but they're not actual brothers, but they're brothers in friendship, pretty much. They're like non-biological brothers, you know? And it's like, they're like closer than brothers, pretty much. And they're living underground, and then one day Yoko shows up, and they leave the underground, and they find out about the Beastmen and all this stuff. And then they find the gunmen, and they form Gurren Lagann when their two mechs combine, basically. And they have to defeat the Spiral King, Lord Genome. And they do that eventually, and the part of them beating Lord Genome is amazing. Well, before that, so what happens is, spoilers for Gurren Lagann, huge spoilers. Kamina dies, and Kamina's death is the saddest moment in anything I've ever fucking seen ever. Kamina dying is so sad. So what happens is Kamina gets hit by this huge attack, and he's like fucking huge hole through him, pretty much. And you're like, oh my god, he's dead. But then, a few minutes later, it shows Kamina there, and he gets back up again to help Simone. And it's like, what? Kamina's not dead. He's alive. He's going to survive. And then he and Simone, Kamina and Simone, have this one last battle together where they defeat this fucking beast general. And then Kamina's like, it says this emotional speech to Simone. It's like, remember to don't believe in me, believe in the you that believes in me, or whatever. And it's just, and then he's like, he dies, or he falls over slowly in the mech, bleeding out. And then Simone's like, big bro, and it's like, oh my god. And then the sad scene where everyone's just devastated by Kamina's death. And then for like the next episode after that, Simone is so fucking devastated by Kamina dying. You can see how sad he is. Like, just the Simone we've known this whole time, he's a pretty upbeat guy. And you can see he's so fucking devastated by Kamina dying, dude. He's just, it's crazy. And then he has this huge emotional moment where he's like, he realizes that he doesn't need to be Kamina. He's not Kamina, he's Simone the Digger. And he has this huge moment, and it's fan-fucking-tastic. And then eventually, like I said, they beat the Spiral King. It plays this amazing song, Roro, Fight the Power. All this music in this anime is amazing, by the way. The opening, every fucking song is so good. And then it does the time skip, and lots of shit happens. They meet the anti-spirals, all this crazy stuff. It's so fucking good. And Simone grows up, and all this crazy shit happens. They become friends with the Beastmen. And then eventually they're fighting the anti-Spiral King, and they've grown from this point where they were living underground, to now where he's piloting this huge fucking galaxy-sized mech with every fucking of these characters we've met so far, and they're throwing fucking galaxies at each other, and it's playing this fucking music as they and then they're in the mech that's inside a mech that's inside a mech that's inside a fucking mech, pretty much. And then at the end, it's like I said, it's playing this huge fucking crazy music. It's playing the opening, it's playing Roro Fight the Power, it's playing every fucking song ever. And then they're fighting the anti-spiral, and then they're in the giant fucking galaxy-sized mech. So then the mech that's inside of that mech jumps out, and then the fucking spirals fucking attack that one. Then the next mech jumps out, and it does that again, and then the fucking next one happens until it's just Gurren Lagann left, the original mech. So then it rips off the Lagann, the head, and throws it at the spiral, and then he uses the Lagann impact, and he fucking drills straight through the fucking anti-spiral's goddamn chest, and they kill him. And it's fucking amazing. It's the most hype moment, the most emotional shit, the most build up to anything that's ever had fucking ever. And it's fantastic. The ending to Gurren Lagann, the fucking Kamina's death, beating the Spiral King, all this shit. The fucking lessons about how we need to move on and become better than the person we were moments before, how a drill fucking works. Oh my god. Everything about Gurren Lagann is amazing. I love Gurren Lagann with a fucking passion, and it is the best anime I've ever watched. And there's also the moment when Kamina shows up again, when they're going through those dreams, and Simon sees Kamina again. Seeing Kamina again was so crazy. It was crazy to see Kamina again. And then everything. It's so amazing. Gurren Lagann is a fucking masterpiece. Okay. I have no bad things I could ever say about Gurren Lagann. I love it so much. It is on another fucking level. It is fantastic, I tell you. Does it have when I watched it? Is it correct? It might not be. Yeah, it doesn't. Because I didn't start putting in dates for until like 2019 or something is when I probably started putting dates in for when I watched it. But Gurren Lagann is amazing. Not only that, but I had some nostalgia watching Gurren Lagann. Because it came out, I remember watching Gurren Lagann a little bit on TV, just catching a few episodes when I was like 10 or some shit. Watching a few episodes. And so, I remember when I first started watching Gurren Lagann, you know, I didn't know anything about it when I first watched it first. And I remember like that I had get hit with a bit of nostalgia from the few episodes I watched a while ago. I didn't even remember that I had watched them, but then I remembered like I've seen this before, and it's amazing. There's just so much about Gurren Lagann that I love, and I could probably talk about it all day. Gurren Lagann is an amazing anime, and personally, it is my favorite anime, and in my opinion, the best fucking anime that's ever been made. That's about it. That's why I gave it a 10. What's on my dropped list? Powerpuff Girls Z because the quality got a lot worse on the place I was watching it. Gintama because I wasn't enjoying it. This fucking show sucks. This show's just funny. This show's terrible. This show's not as good as Naruto. And that's about it. You know, I think that's about it for this stream now. I hope you enjoyed this. This was just me talking about my favorite anime and stuff. Like I said, obviously I had a lot more to say about the anime I liked more. But yeah, I love Gurren Lagann. And Angel Beats, and Madoka Magica, and Kimi no Na wa, and Shelter, and Promare, and Dragon Ball Super Broly, and everything else pretty much. As you can see by like my background here, I love fucking Gurren Lagann. I love it so much. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this stream. No one showed up in chat, I guess, so I can't really talk about no questions, I guess. So I guess I'll just end the stream since I've talked about everything on this list now. All 224 anime that I have completed. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, Gurren Lagann is just amazing, and that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate anyone who sees this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm a pretty big fan of anime, as you could probably tell. That'll do it for this stream though. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If anyone has any comments, you know, please leave them down below. And if anyone has any opinions about animes I've watched, anime I should watch, stuff like that, leave it down below. And I will see it, probably. But thanks you so much for watching, and I will see you later.